My bad, y'all, man. Technical difficulties been kicking my ass tonight. I don't know what's been going on, man.
Get
I was
together, boy.
organized. I was organized and ready to go, man. It's just little glitches here. There, I don't get it. Yeah, man. So we back. This is episode 26 of the Best Conversation, and we got a few serious topics to get in on. But as usual, I'm gonna try to start it out a little light. So for the first subject, now I want y'all to not take this too seriously. Don't take it too seriously. I'm just having fun. But should women, but I gotta say people, but should women consider sharing their ideal man? Now, I'm only asking that. Listen, wait, I'm only asking because I have a video that's an example. These two women, they end up going on a date with the exact same guy, and he does the exact same date. But when you listen to them, it sounds like, especially with the way women complain about dating, dudes planning, dudes initiating, this dude did everything right. It just so happens that he did the same exact thing for two different women. I'm going to play the video clip and y'all give me y'all thoughts on it. But I'm wondering, should women consider dating the ideal man? Because dude held it down. Oh, let me get him on in here.
Go ahead.
Okay, guys. Sydney is sitting here. We're talking about this guy that Sydney used to date, went on one date with, and she's talking all about how cute and romantic the date was. What y'all do on the date?
It was so thoughtful. We went to dinner. We got drinks. We came back to an apartment that he rented out. Did sip and paint. He bought us matching white t-shirts so that my clothes didn't get dirty. I'm telling her, I'm like, it was so cute, so thoughtful. I'm showing her pictures.
And I'm like, I have that photo. Like, I'm looking at this picture of Sydney in her white t-shirt doing sip and paint.
And she's like, I did the same thing with him.
We went on the same exact date.
He took us both. He did the same thing for both of us, and we're just putting it together.
We went on the exact same date. Probably like a month apart, like less than a month apart from each other.
We were both wearing white t-shirts.
He bought us both.
He both took film camera pictures of us and sent it to us like, oh, this was so cute. Memories.
She's
the exact same picture.
She's sitting there talking about, oh, he took the cutest film picture of me. And I'm thinking, I have a film picture from Peyton. It is the exact. I'm gonna overlay the pictures.
No, it's the exact same.
We have the exact same outfit on.
And you know who you are. And I think that honestly, I applaud you because you're probably gonna see this. I applaud you. It was very thoughtful, but just know that we're putting it together.
We were literally sitting here talking about. We think so highly of this person. We had the best date of our life. He is such a good dater. We're both sitting here. It's the same person. But not only is it the same person, it's the same date.
The same person, the same date. He both got his white t-shirts, and we both took the same film picture. He probably both took it of us and was like, oh, let's have a cute picture. Let's take a cute memory. The same. Let's overlay it.
We're gonna overlay it because there was time between these two things. Okay, and he had the time to replicate the same exact date and then make us each feel like we had our
so special. I swear, I was on top of the world. I was like, this man.
I was like, I had never done something so thoughtful, so fun, so creative. He bought the canvases.
Yes.
Bought
the canvas, bought the paint. Bought a t-shirt for us to change into because he didn't want our clothes to get dirty.
Sydney's sitting here talking about we have a cute film picture. She
said, wait, I have a film picture. I said, oh, really? Do you? Do you?
Then it started. More of the story.
If you see
so I failed to see the problem.
Man, don't play with me.
Listen at the joy. They're laughing. They're smiling. They talking about how thoughtful he was, how special they felt.
And neither one of these dudes, these chicks, is giving this man a second date.
We don't know that. See, they're not gonna air that out. They're not gonna air out that these dates were a month apart and they probably gave this man some pussy. They're not gonna air that out. But listen, look at the joy, look at the smiles. And look, he got a type too. Look at the women. They almost look alike.
But it's not joy of the date so much as joy of the irony.
But they talked about how much they enjoyed it. They talked about he get all the points in the world. He get all the points.
No.
So why not consider sharing the ideal man? If he makes you feel that, like, look at them.
Because it's a facade that most men can't continue. Don't introduce me to a vibe you can't maintain.
So okay. So you're saying
you got those guys that'll get those dates right, and then they'll eventually, get you into a relationship. But then he go back to being himself, and then you be like, you looking bait and switched.
So you saying maybe he's just a good dater,
right? And that don't make him a good partner.
Okay. So but let's spin it forward. Let's just say he so happens to be able to keep this energy. Should it be considered if he keeps that energy and you find out, oh my God, he doing this with a whole other woman the exact same way, he's just copying and pasting his routine. And but if I didn't know, I would feel great. No, you're not rocking with it?
No, because at that point, that's pretty much somebody who is pretty much transforming himself based on what the ideal man is for these particular women. And typically, birds of a feather flock together. So it's usually likely that two women are going to have some similarities in the types of men they date and types of things they like to do. So it's not unheard of that these two women ended up kind of dating the same guy and he did the same date. So it leaves a lot to be desired about personality, because it's like this person is going to transform himself based on the woman instead of just being who he is. And that's kind of sociopath behavior. So nah, I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that.
Look, I'm trying to come up with solutions for women that have a lot of complaints in the dating and relationship sphere. And when a guy is a planner, because I see every single day, and y'all, we've all seen the post in the comments.
Oh yeah,
guys don't have a plan. A man with we want a man with a plan. A man with a plan. And I get it. I'm not arguing it. This man had a plan and he executed it. He executed. Frank, what do you think, man?
Man, that nigga genius.
Thank you. Thank you. The copy and paste.
Man, only thing he did, the old hack to what you do to let for you to know that the spaghetti noodles are done. You just take one out the pot and throw it.
Yeah, throw it to the wall.
Against the wall, if it sticks.
Yeah,
it's done. That's what he did with these two. With that date, date was the spaghetti noodle.
Yeah.
So he threw it against the wall, and obviously it's a date that works because he got both of them with it.
Yeah.
Now what? So I can't find the wrong in what he did unless he knew that they were friends, which I don't understand how he didn't know that they were friends, or did they become friends because they found each other somehow?
So they were friends.
And so I need a little more backstory. But if they were friends, then obviously there would have been pictures of each other with each other on social media. So the nigga didn't do.
Well, let me say something as a guy that has been so in these situations. I've been in situations very close, right? And I had a sister roll up on me one time and say, "Hey, yo, Manuel, you got to choose either me or her." And I'm like, "Wait, why do I got to choose? Who are y'all?" I didn't know who these women were. They were friends. And she said, "Yeah, those are two of my sisters, my sorors." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, oh damn, my bad." I didn't know, because I didn't do recon. I didn't go through their Facebook pictures and news feeds to see who was in pictures. I don't go that far. I like you. I want you. and that's it. You know, and so now when she put that out there that, hey, that's my homegirl and that's my homegirl, what you gonna do? I just said, you know what, bet, you know, and I hadn't went so far with any of them to where I had to be called out. I wasn't trying to be a player. I wasn't lying about a status or anything. But yeah, I think what Sheffy just said is a good point. You know, birds of a feather do flock together. So a lot of times the women will like the same type of guy, and that guy will like women that would be friends in the real world, you know. So it could be just happenstance. I really believe, because it's happened to me before.
You know what? I bet those two ain't friends no more. After the shock and amusement wore off.
Yeah.
Both of them still like that date.
Yeah, they did. That's what I'm telling you.
So they probably were like, so I'm keep seeing him.
Who gonna girl, you can't see him no more, girl. And then you find out, well, he told me y'all just texted. Oh, he told me, like, they gonna find out the other one went out with the other
they
one.
Gonna become sister wives, one of the two. I don't know. And
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't like none of it. I mean, I don't, because at the end of the day, he copy and pasted the date, but at the same time, it's like none of the date was catered to either woman.
It don't have to be. It don't have
yes,
to
they
be.
do.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
No.
Let me tell you. So y'all
My
don't
daughter came in here today with some chicken wings from yesterday from my sister, and she said, and I brought you all flats just like you like it. See, made me feel special.
Do you know how many women I know that like all flats? You know how? Do you know? I'm real talk.
I get you. I understand.
That's what I'm saying. We can copy and paste some stuff, and I guarantee you, 8 out of 10 y'all gonna all like the basic formula that we put forth.
My ex-husband for real.
Listen,
I ain't gonna be out here playing these games with these men.
Look, for real. The basic formula, because that's the basic formula. What he did wasn't extraordinary. It was creative and it was outside of the box, because he did a paint and sip at an apartment that he rented out and got there and got the little camera thing that gives you the little Polaroid. Like, he did all that stuff, right? But most women would enjoy that. So for a first date,
he got a 10-pack of t-shirts from doggone
I'm
Costco.
telling you, listen. Trust me when I tell you this.
Man, look.
This is something that all men should take note of, because what seems like maximum effort to a man that plans is minimum effort. Y'all dudes better keep some fucking game. What seems like maximum effort to a man with the plan is minimum effort. I could wake up and do, if I was single tomorrow, I'd wake up with 10 ideas that I can spin I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. You're special.
That's when she was explaining the date, I was like,
how many times have you done it? You've done that. I know you've done it.
It's just, I'm like, damn, is it this easy? Mm-hmm. It's like the bar is so low that they're impressed so much by an in-home painting sip. The canvas ain't no, but you can get a 5-pack canvas. I mean, 5 canvas pack at Walmart for $7. You can get the little cheap paint at Walmart for about $4. You get the paintbrush for about $2.36. Those t-shirts about $11.
And dudes, this is why we keep telling you lames that's complaining about $300 dates that y'all are lame. It don't cost nothing to do this. That's
very minimal.
That whole date probably cost that man like $60.
Even if it costs $100, being that he's duplicated it and replicated it, boy, he got that thing logistic. He got that thing down to a science now. That thing, listen, like he said, he got a pack of t-shirts, a pack of canvases, he got everything. Get a day, hey, come on over. And he rent that same apartment at that same place. Listen, weekend, and renting a loft on a weekend It's cheaper than a hotel, and it's cheaper than the spot you share with another woman if you want to get out there like that. I'm telling you now, that is $60 easy. Easy.
Man, that nigga Michelangelo out there cleaning up with them canvases.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. Now I will
you.
never ever like take a dude seriously. Like I want to sip and paint with you. Oh no, you might be that dude.
Oh, see, now we done ruined sip and paint. Now we done ruined. No, don't do that. Come on now.
For me at least. I mean,
oh my God.
I'm not the type of woman that will fall for that. Anyway.
Well, see, you know what? See that, but that's the thing though. See, you have more experience, so the first date for you is probably going to be more about getting to know this person. You might enjoy it like that, but you may not, and maybe they don't put a lot of stock in it, but it gets you to the next date. The first date gets you to the next date. And now you got to start getting more original, and you got to start catering to the individual that you're getting to know as you get to know them. So the first date can be this basic but thoughtful thing that can go for everybody. At a certain point, though, you got to start making sure what you do is personalized and cater to the woman.
They can't do it. Most dudes do not know how to cater to a woman individually. And that's why you'll have like women who will say, you know, I've been with this man 6-7 years and he don't know me. He doesn't even know how to have sex with me because he's doing the same moves that he done to every other woman. So it's like the guys set themselves up when they do this copy and paste because it makes them lazy and they get comfortable. And then they wonder why a woman be on to the next because she starts to realize you just running from the playbook that you use for every game. You the Dallas Cowboys out here.
Wow.
I think for this,
you've been running for 20 years.
I think for this guy, this is like the, you know, to me, obviously, it's the go-to introduction date to where you just want to make an impression.
Yeah. Or they go to let me get some on the first night date because I'm pretty sure
there you go. That I'm telling, because it would work.
It would. Man, I agree.
And this is not. And this is honestly, this isn't this is not a shot at women. This is more so for me. This is more so a shot at men because what we're saying is to have a little effort and to put in just a little bit of a plan goes so much further than so what you want to do. So where you won't go?
When can I see you?
Let's meet for coffee. Where you like to go? I don't want to spend no money on a first date. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to do a buffer date.
Do a what?
Buffer
date. Oh man,
or the dates where they'll show up and act like they don't know you.
we ain't finna do a buffer date. We ain't finna talk about
buffer date. That's what a phone call is for.
That was when I saw that buffer date shit, that's what I thought phone calls were for, to get yourself in line for so you didn't have, that's what the phone call is, the buffer.
Yes.
Yeah. Why I gotta leave the house unless you want to physically see what the person looks like? But I don't know. That I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't with that. I'm not no goddamn buffer date, and I don't like coffee, so that don't think. However, I'm sticking to my point. I think if the guy's ideal and you enjoy it yourself and they feel good, by all means, hey man, ride that wave as long as you can, lady. Just ride it. It ain't gonna hurt. I don't see the problem.
Man, they don't want to hurt each other.
Oh yeah, that's between them though. They ain't got nothing to do with them. That man out there collecting doggone memories to be a picture, like a freaking serial killer.
Right. Dude got mementos. Dude literally has mementos.
That nigga like Robin Williams on 24-Hour Photo. One of them.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly it.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Listen, shout out to my guy for at least having some effort. Look, but that's what I'm saying. There's no excuse for men not to have success if you just got, at least from the dating phase. I know you still got to get to the relationship. I get it. But from the dating phase, planning, man, if you're a man with a plan, you're gonna win at the end of it. They gotta like you and all that other good stuff too. But a man with a plan usually comes out better than a man just trying to wing it and where you like to go. Anyway, so I want to segue into something else, a little bit more serious. I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Mommunes. Mommunes.
Yep, that's it.
Mommunes. Okay, so it's mommunes, and mommunes are this thing. And from what I saw in the video, I didn't watch the entire video because I wanted to be a little bit more surprised when I played it in its entirety. But there where single mothers decide that instead of living alone and raising children on their own, they get with other single mothers and live in a home, and they all raise their children together. So you kind of got like a village, right? You know, sharing resources. There seems to be some practicality to it. I didn't watch the whole video. It's only 3 minutes long. I'm gonna go ahead and share it, and I want y'all to give me y'all thoughts on it, because that's what we do here, right? So let's jump into it.
So the New York Times reports that there's a new spotlight on something they call mommunes, single mothers living together. It's been going on for a very long time. I guess the New York Times just heard about it. And what do you think?
I love this. It is as old as cultures themselves. There was a time where people lived together, tribal communities, especially non-white communities, multi-generational homes. It was never natural to have a nuclear family that lived in a house and left babies with one mom by herself. So when you are on your own,
Nicole,
you're gaming the system to bring communal resources, whether it's childcare, food, money,
hear the
and
video
saying,
that's playing?
you don't have to do it alone.
I
One
can
of the
never
stories
hear the
featured in that was
videos
two
that play.
sisters that had both been divorced. The first thing I would do if I ever found myself in a situation where I had kids and I was by myself would be to find other women to help me with the battle. I mean, those are the people that will go to the ground for you. I think it's
I'm wondering what the New York Times was doing in the 1980s when I was watching the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Because those were 4 women living together in a communal arrangement. Look, I think things have become very expensive.
Yep.
For me, I have a mommune here at the View for my 5-pound poodle who requires constant attention and petting and loves Whoopi Goldberg in some sort of way.
in a special way.
Yeah, we said they reached first base today.
At least 3 times during the meeting.
Hot Topics meeting. But you know, I agree with you, Sarah. Like my kids grew up in a multi-generational household. This is not unusual to me.
And you grew up in one.
And I grew up in one as well. My mother lives there. My mother's mother lived with us as well. So my kids have always been in this sort of mommune situation. It felt a little sister wife to me at first until I started thinking, you know, 80% of single parent households are run by women.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to Lynette, who does my makeup, and she's a single mom, and it's really hard.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to do it alone. And so if you can have a multi-generational, household, or if you can find friends that are like-minded like-minded parenting skills. Because I have some friends I could not mommune with.
Well, that's what makes marriage hard, though, is it's 2 different ways of doing things often.
Yeah.
No, I like the way Sarah described it because my initial thought was I just graduated having female roommates. I definitely don't want to go back to this because, sorry, the rent was too damn high. But it's actually a lovely idea. My mom was a single mom when she raised us because I'd spend summers with my dad and school year with her. And you just don't have enough help. There's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough ability to get things done. So having other women to support you and divide tasks makes a lot of sense.
To tell you the truth, I want to live in a gay mune. I want to live.
That would be fun.
I want to live with my gay friends. I want Lee to take care of the food. I want Ken to take care of the entertainment. We're going to have to hire somebody that can fix things because all of us are useless.
A queen among queens.
All right, so Nicole just joined us, so I'm gonna kind of sum up what we just shared. The video was they were basically explaining what a mommune is. Have you heard of a mommune? It's basically where a bunch of single mothers, multiple single mothers, instead of being single moms on their own, they all come and live in the same house, and they all raise their children together. They pool their resources, they pool their efforts and energy, and a bunch of single moms raise their litters together, and I guess that's just
Litters,
the thing, and they my bad, that was terrible. That was so terrible. But is it a good idea? Is it a good? Think about it. We get on So let's just say you and the father or the ex-husband, it's not working out. And then you realize, yo, this sucks. This is difficult. Obviously, every single mother talks about the difficulty of having to be that 90% or that all on their own all the time. Why not you and your homegirl and a sister say, hey, we can get this big house. We can share it. We got a basement. We got all these rooms. We got this kitchen, and we can just raise these kids together. Why not?
I've seen it done a couple of different ways where in some instances these mothers will actually marry and be domestic partners to where they can share insurance and everything. So you have the mommunes where it may be several moms together, but you also have like two moms who decided to just combine their households, and they present like a lesbian couple even though they're not, but on paper they're married, so that both of their children get the benefit of each person's resources in the home. At the end of the day, we've gotten away from the village raising children. There used to be a point where you had your child, your mother lived around the corner, grandmama lived up the street, aunties and uncles weren't far away. I mean, you go to the country in Crawfordville, Georgia right now, a 1 acre of land got 10 trailers on it.
Yeah.
And that's how we built communities. But now everybody, you become an adult, you move 2 states over, your mom has to fly in to help. And then mom out there living her best life too, because she ain't trying to really be a grandmama like that. So I don't think it's something missing just for single moms. I think it's missing from the family unit altogether, that family togetherness we once had. So women out here recognizing that they can create these spaces with each other to help manage, I think is a great thing. Because at the end of the day, the village helps the children. And I don't necessarily think it matters as much. Well, I mean, you want male energy too, but at the same time, one stressed out parent versus splitting that between 3-4 people you feel loved by, I don't see any child that's not going to thrive in an environment like that. As long as the processes are equally yoked across the people involved, similar parenting styles, things like that, which are kind of necessary in rearing kids anyway. But if you can create a community around these children, I don't see an issue with it. I think pooling resources, especially with how the economy is pretty much taking all of us to the bank, is a good idea. And if you can make it a little bit easier for yourself and for your children, why wouldn't you?
All right. I'm gonna get you, Nicole. I want to get a raggedy old caveman's thoughts in here real quick. Go ahead, caveman.
Honestly, man, my first initial thought was I wanted to find a problem with it, just because. And then I realized for the first time in my life, I'm a product of that system or that setup. Because the house that we grew up in, me and my brothers, my great grandma, my grandma, my great aunt, my aunt. Before our great uncle passed, he was there, but after he passed, of course, he wasn't there anymore. So my dad was in and out. Now I'm gonna speed up until 97 when our mom passed, and our dad moved us back to my grandma's house, great grandma's house, and I was there until I was 22. But it was it was a Golden Girl setup. I grew up in the Golden Girls house, so I think I turned out rather decent. And my brothers, my siblings, they all turned out pretty decent. So I can't find a problem with it. You know, whatever works. So if they find themselves in a situation where they gotta they need each other to survive, then you know, make the best of what you got. So I'd encourage it. So yeah, I definitely don't. I don't have a problem with it. As much as I'm trying to find a problem with it.
As much as you want to say a bunch of cackling hens in there raising a bunch of kids.
You wanted to so bad.
I wanted it, but I mean, hey, I'm all for it, man. So I mean, as long as they produce some healthy children, then hey, have at it.
I don't like that shit. It's practical. It makes sense logistically. I just don't like the idea that just there's no dudes. Like, I mean,
whose fault that is, though?
Listen. I'm gonna go there. Look, I don't know if it's their fault. I don't know if it's the man's fault. What I would hope that in that system that they find a way to make sure there's a responsible masculine influence in and about their mommune to the point where it actually has an effect, because you still need that balance of of feminine and masculine. You still just need that balance. So that's the only thing I can find issue with. Go ahead, Nicole. You can give us your take on that idea. I was just saying that the only thing I can actually throw in there is like, hey, you know, worst come to worst, we're not going to say who's at fault for the man not being there. If it's the men not being there, if it's men's fault, women's fault, who cares? I would still hope that there will be some masculine influence in some way, shape, or form on a regular basis. So there's just a balance. You know, you just got to have that in young people's lives. But go ahead, Nicole.
I think that as the economy is changing, shifting, that you're going to find more situations like this. But I'll even go more so like other cultures have been doing multi-generational houses for decades. You know, you move your mom in, that way you already have built-in support and care. Not to mention, you know, people who, you know, I've seen plenty of people who 2 or 3 families will live together. They'll pay off the house and then they move, and 2 of them move, and then they move in another family, and then they pay off that house, and then they make the next transition. So I've seen this happen from a cultural perspective. Normally it's entire families, versus in this situation, it's just mainly, you know, the moms working together. One of the things I was going to bring up is I think that this could help. I think sometimes when you're in a situation as a mom and you don't have another set of eyes, a lot of these kids are experiencing parents that are just stressed, overly stressed, and they're taking out their stress on their children and creating trauma because they don't necessarily have the support. So if a mom had, let's say, another mom or somebody that, again, you're having off nights, somebody else can cook and you can go decompress. I think for moms who are struggling, this would be a viable option. I do think from a friend perspective, I think that when you go into now trying to pretend as though you're living a life you're not living, for trying to get you send necessarily the wrong message to your kids sometimes. You know, getting a hookup, now you've normalized something that you might not have wanted to normalize for your kids. So you need to be, you know, kind of careful there. And then what you also have to go into it eyes wide open. What happens if somebody gets a man? What does that now do to your house? Like, okay, now you have a man, and now you're what? Telling him that this is the way it's going to be because this is what I have, or you now abandon your friend.
Or you take kids from their brothers and sisters and
right,
their family.
exactly, exactly. So in where I think it helps kids is, I think sometimes it helps them to get outside of themselves, that the world doesn't all revolve around you. So learning how to be cooperative with other people, so that can be helpful. But when you're kind of setting yourself up to like be in something long lasting that might not be able to be sustained that way, and then if it isn't sustained, how do you navigate that transition? I say a lot of times, I use the phrase again and again and again and again and again, because I think sometimes we think.
Did we lose her?
Hold
on. Oh, we good. She back.
Okay. Sometimes we use that phrase, and I'm gonna say it again and again. You got what you wanted, but now you don't want what you got. And so you have to be mindful every time you go into a situation. How might you feel later? How would that affect somebody else? What effect would that have on the kids? I think if you start looking at it through those lenses, then it helps you to make better overall decisions. But I'd much rather that than a mom struggling, or, how many times do you see moms that are working long hours and their kids are left at home alone, which now leaves them open to outside influences, somebody sneaking out, somebody sneaking in, where at least there's also somebody in the house just for support and safety. That's my 2 cents.
Like I said, from a practical, just purely pragmatic standpoint, like I said, I'm with you guys all. I can't find fault in it, and we do a lot of lip service to community. Oh, we talk so much shit about community and how we need to be a community, but when it comes to actually saying, okay, what can we do real time right now? Fuck everything that's the problem with where we are. What can we do real time right now? This is something that could be done real time right now across the board. And it would definitely have, I think there would be more positive from it than any negative, especially long term. So I would definitely 100%, like if I saw it, I might talk a little shit, because just a bunch of cackling hens. I'm gonna be a crusty old man about it. But when you think about, like you guys said, some of those effects long term, and the fact that this is what we used to do. You made the point, Sheffy, that now we, when we get a job, or we all move away. Everybody moves away. Mm-hmm. Grandma ain't right around the corner. Uncles, like all those people are not there. And so we're talking about actually having this, and I really can't see much of the flaw. I can't see much. Okay.
The one thing to consider about the whole male piece is that a lot of these mommune type places, those kids are typically heavily involved in extracurricular activities. So that's where a lot of that comes from. Okay, those parents are usually a lot more involved in the school system and things like that. So it's not just this center of cackling hens so much as the male influence just may not exist in the household, but it's there. It's just not in the household.
Yeah, right. And that's really, and as long as it's there in a capacity, just in a capacity. Would you gonna say something?
I want to know who wear the pants around there.
Nobody.
I can't say what I was gonna say. Damn, I was gonna use
somebody got to put jeans on around there.
I was gonna use a very long word. I was gonna use a very long word that would have got me canceled. So let me not use.
Y'all are can't stand you too.
Somebody got to go to work, man.
All of them work.
No,
who doing it?
Hey,
who paying the beer around there?
Look, it gotta be at least one stud around there. That's all I'm saying. One,
Jesus Christ.
somebody got somebody
Her name
got to wear
Roberta.
Somebody wearing the strap, huh?
somebody got to wear the shirt. Somebody got to wear the wife beater with they boob mask down. Somebody got to sag some pants around there.
She preferred to be called Bob. Her name
What?
Roberta.
Yeah, something.
I can't stand y'all.
All right. Next thing I'm finna go to. I came across this video. It was on somebody shared it on TikTok, but it was on I think TLC. I don't know. Anyway, this guy, I don't know if he's a passport bro, but his wife or his potential wife is not from the United States. His potential wife is not from the United States. And he presents her with a prenup. Let's just see how the woman not from the United States felt about the prenup. Get that video up and running here.
Do you ever plan on cheating on me?
Absolutely not, no.
Do you ever plan on divorcing me?
No.
Okay, well, this right here doesn't matter. All this means is that if you go back on your word of what you just said to me, that's the only reason why this right here will take an effect.
Does this prenup have any silent party influence?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Because I feel like your ex, she mentioned the prenup. Too many hands in the broth is a saying that we say in Trinidad. When too many hands in the broth, it spoils the entire thing. So now it's like looking at me as if I have some secret agenda. Try to take what Bilal has.
First of all, that has absolutely nothing to do with anything in relation
sure?
to. Well, you asked me a question. Can I answer your question? That has absolutely nothing to do with anything whatsoever. But I also know that I have 2 children that I also have to protect as well. And I can't just say, oh, well, let me just have a blind eye at love. Well, that wouldn't be smart.
Can you see how I give up everything?
My love, my Bellacita.
Do you see where I'm coming from when I say that?
I get it. I know this is not the sexiest conversation to have, but I know it's a conversation that is needed. This right here is something that it says that you won't take me for everything I got. I mean, it's just literally, just see it from that standpoint.
This 90-day fiance.
I feel as if Bilal doesn't trust me. I know that when he got married, he was thinking like me, like it's going to be forever, and his wife left him. So I think he has some trust issues, and I feel like I have to pay the price for everything that has happened to him in his past. I want to show the prenup to a lawyer. I'm not going to sign a document that does not give me certain rights in it. Are we done?
If you want it to be done, we're done.
Unless he put these things in a prenup to protect me, it will leave me no choice but to go back home to Trinidad.
Yeah, I think they came to a compromise, and she eventually signed it. But that nigga, that was a hoe.
Hold on, wait. So I didn't watch that whole episode. So I don't know if you saw the video, Nicole, but
I didn't. So give me the synopsis.
So the man, he's this was 90-day fiance. He has a fiance from Trinidad, and he presents her with a prenup. And what he asks is, this basically prevents me. He said, "Are you going to cheat on me? Do you plan on divorcing me? If that's not the case, then what's the problem?" And what she basically said was, 1, she thought this was a byproduct of his last failed marriage, and 2, she wasn't sure. She wants to make sure that something's not being taken away. So she wants to show it to a lawyer before she signs it. Now Frank says that he has a judgment about old dude. So I want to hear his take on the guy. But my first thought is, what's the problem with prenups? What's the problem with prenups? I want Nicole to go first. What's the problem with the prenup?
Okay, I think number one, again, I didn't hear the whole thing, but I think there's nothing wrong with, and really for his benefit, she needs to run it by a lawyer. Okay, period. Because had she not, and she just signed, then later on you're leaving it up to interpretation whether or not she was under distress, whether she was manipulated, anything like that. So you should never, and I don't care who you are, don't sign nothing out of somebody's kind of guilting you into feeling some type of way. Anybody who doesn't understand that may not be looking out for your best interest, and that's a red flag, number one. Number two, I think that there is something to be said about when you get together early in life and when you get together later in life. And I also think that there's something to be said about what your intentions are. Now, early in life, you don't have a lot. Like when my ex-husband and I got together, we were in college, didn't nobody have much, so growing into that, there wasn't prenup for what? You didn't have anything, right?
Right.
However, today, anybody that I am drawn to, who is drawn to me, will have some level of financial responsibility, some assets that they should want to protect their best interests, and I'm going to protect my best interests. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. However, that's where I say intentions, because we would be equally yoked, right? Now, your amount may differ, but when you come to a table with nothing and then want to leave with substantial amounts, then y'all are not equally yoked. From that perspective, not to say that you can't go into the relationship, not to say that you can't move forward, but if a man is coming in with like, I'm gonna pay how I weigh, if you're paying for it, it ain't love. It is convenience. It is some kind of, you're paying for a service. And if you're doing that, understand that you need to make sure that that is appropriately communicated in said documentation. She shouldn't, if you know that you're a barista and he the CEO, and you marrying the CEO and you the barista, saying that you don't want anything after being with this man, that you would be a fool, because he will get you for the next barista. Your contract has been terminated. You have been upgraded, downgraded, whatever. So I just think that people need to know what they're bringing to the table, what the intentions are of the other person that's at the table, and you need to protect your own best interests.
I can dig that.
Who child?
Hold on. Let me go. No, you go ahead, Chef. I want to get your take on that one real quick too.
So,
jump in.
For me, the whole prenup situation it can be very predatory. And this comes from actual experience. When you bring a woman into your space who you know is coming in with nothing, and you want to control the situation by putting a prenup in her face, it's like, sir, you're really wanting to monopolize my time and effort so that when you're done with me, you can get rid of me and walk away with everything, and I still came in with nothing. And I don't think that part's cool.
So would it well, I would say this. Then the language of the prenup, right? Because from what I've seen, a lot of times a prenup is the most simplest versions are infidelity clauses, abuse clauses, and no fault divorce clauses. Like they're just randomly, I'm just going to divorce after 5 years for irreconcilable differences. They usually don't allow that. If there's a divorce, there needs to be some underlying. You have to have done some work from the prenups that I've seen. Now I know prenups are they're like DNA strands, different levels, different people got different things, and so I would think that, again, like he said, do you plan on cheating on me? Do you plan on leaving me? Well, nobody ever gets. I don't want to say nobody ever gets married because they plan to leave. Because some women do get married because they plan to leave with a bag. I get that part, but that's not as easy to do as a lot of women think it is. And I think with the right prenup, it can at least level it. Like, not that she walks away with zero, but that she doesn't walk away with half.
But that's the thing. When you're presenting a prenup to someone who has no choice, it's usually predatory. That person doesn't necessarily have the facilities to go to a lawyer to get these things checked to protect their interests. So it goes back to somebody signing in duress. I was presented with that whole thing when I got married, and I'm like, you ain't even got that much for you to be sitting here trying to run me in a prenup. So me and my baby just gonna go back to Atlanta and we just gonna call it quits. I'm good. Because I just felt like at that time I had lost everything while I was pregnant because I was so sick. So it was one of those things where for a fact I'm already living in duress because I can't fend for myself right now. And your answer to it is, well, I want a prenup to protect this $100,000 house I got. Boy, if you get out my face. So stuff like that, I don't agree with when it's done in the realm of, I have control over you. Let me leverage my control over you.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Ship like that anyway, though. Like
child, tell me again, because I shouldn't have married him.
So but how somebody comes to you in these moments speaks a lot about the type of man that he is, right? And we talk about protectors, providers. A man who's going to be in charge of a household, normally they are generous, they are fair.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
They're not right. What again? The generous is, if they're not generous, then they're already from looking at it from a scarcity perspective.
Right. That's where the problem comes in, because you got these new dudes out here. They making 85 grand on their job. They got a little bit of house. They got a little bit of car. And they like, well, I need a prenup. Sir, your net worth is actually negative if you factor in the debt you got. If you don't get out my face with this. So it's like, I don't think a lot of people are being realistic when they even drop the word prenup. Now, if we're equally yoked, like you said, when we get to, we both in our 40s, we both making good money, we both have assets. I think a prenup becomes more applicable when you are both coming in with some assets that you want to protect. But when you have one person who is significantly destitute in comparison to the other, I don't necessarily think that's always fair, because it leaves the door open for it to be really predatory. And this is why a lot of women will get in court and dispute, that I signed this under duress, because they are literally forced to sign.
But they're not forced to sign. Like, that's the thing, though. Like, when you're in duress, right? When you are living hand to mouth or whatever this situation is, that is not the time to decide to marry a man. Like, because again, it's like, if I don't have a job, if I am without a job, and I come in and let somebody know I am without a job, then I am at the mercy of whatever they choose to offer me. However, anytime you're at a table that you are not willing to walk away from, you are giving the power to the other person that is at the table.
True.
Period.
But do we all know that in youth? We usually don't.
No, I'm not saying that have these kind of conversations. And that's also why I say that they're like, everything happens for a reason. So your ability to say, no, I'm out is a good, and like sometimes when men do things today, I'm grateful. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not vengeful. I appreciate how quickly you got to why you are not a suitable person for me. And so it's like that kinds of situations. When you see somebody who
she's gonna pop back in real soon. There it is. Yeah.
These people show you who they are. You have that's it.
And now I would, before Frank jumps in, I hear what you're saying, Chef, because there's two sides to that. There's the older guy, the much younger woman who's coming from a destitute set of circumstances, and it's like prenup, and now I'm slap the prenup on you because I know you want marriage and stability, and I'm gonna give you this baby and this, that, and the third, and then once you hear behind these doors, I can inflict whatever harm by any means. The other side to that that we've seen is there are men of good faith that are also fools that also go get that pretty barista who also give her a couple of babies. And then he's literally left with his ass in his hand. Go overseas to some of these other countries if you want to.
But it's still not as common as we want to make it believe. No,
I'm not
talking about half thing ain't that common as everybody thinks.
I'm not talking about commonality. I'm talking about reality. Reality, just like we looked at that last video. I think last week we talked about it, where the Chinese woman was saying, "Yo, we've already calculated the return on the investment here."
She showed it.
Stop playing don't think you coming over here to get this docile. No. We calculating this. So when we get you, we've got you. We running the play. And a lot of men sometimes they want to protect themselves from that. And it's unfortunately at the disposal of a woman that's honestly not finna play them games. And then on the flip side, a woman wants to be protected from a man that would be predatory if he was, in the power seat in that situation. But Frank mentioned that this guy, give us a little insight. If you saw that entire episodes, because I love that love context. What was you said that man was a hoe? He always calling somebody a hoe. So what was his issue?
That nigga was paranoid. He gave his ex-wife way too much input in that marriage. And his new wife, when they was engaged, before they got married, they had a meeting with his ex-wife. And his ex-wife was saying, hold on real quick, Kara.
He called it.
Gotta check in real quick.
There you go. He phoning a friend.
You're coming real quick because she remember a lot better than I do when we watching it together. But that nigga, man, his ex-wife was just talking out the side of both sides of the neck. And Buddy didn't check the ex-wife. He told his fiance she need to calm down. I'm talking the ex-wife was just popping.
So now I see why she said what she said is a third party.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. A little context does go along.
You remember that nigga from 90 Day Fiance? that black nigga, that faggot. I mean that
hey,
wow. My bad. I didn't mean like that, but that punk. I can say that though, right?
Oh God, it's too late. It's too late now.
The one that the Muslim wife from Trinidad.
Oh,
Bilal, yeah, that nigga.
Yeah.
Bilal.
What his ex-wife say to when they was at the table? Yeah, she was saying, yeah. But it was something specific that she said to that woman.
I'll always be in his business. That's not a big concern should not always be his concern. Like, you have to come to me, because I have kids.
You gonna have to repeat it because we can't hear.
Hey, I ain't gonna put you on camera. Just stay right here.
Yeah.
So they can hear you.
Oh, and my friend told her that because I have kids with him and I was married with him, I'll always be a part of y'all decision-making process. So she'll always have to say the relationship.
Wow.
What?
See, red
You
flag.
got me, fuck. See,
Flag
you
on
see,
the play.
these passport. I knew I needed a reason to call him a passport bro and a simp and everything else. I'm just playing, y'all. See, you see.
He's simping with the ex-wife.
He's
still
simping
hitting that.
with the ex. Oh.
So
Wow.
that's what all of that is. It's about protecting the assets for the ex-wife. That's what that is.
So for this individual, his motives are very, very wrong. These are very those kind of motives, man. And I think Nicole, you mentioned that people's motives. So one of you ladies mentioned the motives, that they're coming with. If your motives are he's got a little damage, but in the end, I guess they did come to some sort of compromise. But
yeah, we can't do compromise.
But so what this also now she's from Trinidad, he's from the United States. My question is this, and it's on the same subject. Around the world, are people dealing with the same issues? Like I keep with everything we want to hear about how terrible things are in the United States, how terrible things are with femininity and masculinity, how terrible things are with Western women, Western culture. But more and more, I don't know. I think there are a lot more similarities than what we want to give credit to.
Oh,
there are a lot of differences. I think there are a lot of substantive differences in the way that relationships are cultivated and vetted, depending on how people use their communities. But I think all in all, this whole love relationship dynamic, I think the similarities and the struggles are similar across the board.
I think relationships are relationships no matter what part of the world you're in. That men and women are distinctly different. So there's always going to be some type of conflict between a man and a woman, no matter what part of the world that you're in. Mm-hmm. Which is why I don't understand the delusion of thinking that you can hop across the sea to another country and find this ideal woman. And act like you're going to get anything. You're going to get some things that's different, but she's still a woman that you got to deal with. So it could be some differences, but those differences you're not going to like either. So it's like that. There's no utopia that you can jump on a boat or plane and go to another island or to another land, somebody else's country, and find this utopia of women that does exactly what you want, how you want it, and when you want it. So that whole notion is stupid. You're still dealing with a woman.
The notion for them is that it's easier, but it's typically only easier because of the lack of opportunities. But they don't want to have that conversation.
See, and that's it. It's
they don't like having
economics.
that conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's tied to economics. And so, you've seen countries where women couldn't drive, can't have a bank account, can't get an education. If their studies show that the more educated a woman gets, in a society, the lower the birth rate becomes.
Mm-hmm.
The more educated is, then that means that now I can provide for myself, which now means I don't have to have an offspring in order to secure my life. So think about it, even in an animal kingdom, a person, animal might have a child. So now that the father will take care of the child, and now you have a home based on that unit. But if you could take care of yourself, you may not make those same choices. And I think that a lot of
She's gonna pop back in.
There are men who are fighting hard. They don't want to have conflict. They don't want to have compromise. You don't want to have communication. They want a yes man or a yes woman in this case. And in the United States, the more educated we become, the more self-awareness we have, then we have to have communication. It can't just be we're going left because you said left, right? Especially if your track record hasn't shown that your driving left has gotten us to the destination. Because I'm a helpmate, right? So you have to use what I have too, right? We got to get to a point to where we can work together. Is really what it comes down to, and a lot of men don't want that, and so they'd much rather go somewhere else and just pay for a wife, and that's fine. There is no right, there is no wrong, but understand why you're doing it, not just that you're doing it.
Listen, I think that it's fair. The cultural differences from one place to another are what they are. But what Frank said is true. You're going to have to deal with the nature of a woman. And of course, when they're more educated, their autonomy they start to become a more aware of more options that are available than they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever the case may be. And that doesn't mean they're going to express or take advantage of every option, but they might want to. And so if what you're presenting as a man is not better in their minds at that moment, if what you're presenting as a man is not better than what they think their options are, you can't really be upset with that. That starts with you as a man. that kind of starts with you as a man. And if you think that going to another country is going to change that dynamic, let me tell you, I have not even began to go down the path of really airing what I've learned and seen in other countries, the way women operate. And even in these other countries, you still have to vet for a quality woman. You are not going to Southeast Asia and just getting a quality woman because every woman in Southeast Asia is a quality woman. If you go to Southeast Asia, if you go to Thailand, if you go to some of the islands that are associated with that, and you go get the cute bar girl that yes, Pop, she's saying all the yes stuff, she's catering, and man, it is known that if you don't vet those women out, you can end up ass up, face down yourself as a man. Like that's just how you can end up in some bad situations. You know, your pockets turned out and something else turned out. And that's not. I'm not using a scare tactic. The reality at the end of the day is you still have to vet for quality. I was watching this YouTuber was talking about.
I want to say something with that real quick, because we talk about vetting, and one thing that I've seen a lot of videos on here lately is women who say, oh, well, I only want a man that other women want, right? That is because, and men are like, see, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Women only want men that other women want. But really what it comes down to is women who don't know how to vet. If you don't know how to vet yourself, you find a woman who does, and because you take her word for it, not his word, not anybody else's word, so you want her man not because of the man, but because you trust this other woman makes good decisions. It don't have nothing to do with
and even if on the surface you see that she gets ideal outcomes. But what I was saying was, man, I watched this video and it was several videos, and it's been several videos by several men that live in other countries. They don't visit, they have totally expats. They have moved away, they are there. And they talk about the stories of these men that come to these other countries and they get these young wives or they get these young girlfriends, and how those men are miserable, almost suicidal. because they get to these other countries and they get with a young, good-looking Thai girl or young, good-looking Vietnamese or wherever you think you're going to go and land one. And those women's mindsets are to take care of themselves and their family first. And this man is a means by which to do that.
Yep.
And not only is that man a means by which, and he's getting all the loving and all this other stuff, she's got 3 or 4 other ones in the wing. And all that catering is because you bought it. Let me tell you something, man. If you got the money to buy it in the United goddamn States, you're going to be good. So the only thing you're doing is getting it at a discount. And I always repeat that. You're getting it at a discount. Now, what they also said, what those men also said was, hey, if you come to this country and you're a good-looking man and you go outside of the fun girl spots and you go find a woman that works, a woman that so happens to have a job, like I'm using Thailand specifically. They were saying how the women that have jobs that are not working, they're not call girls, they don't work in a red light, like they have regular jobs. Those women are scarce. So if you can find one of those women that work a regular job, they're in school, they said those women are pickier than the ones that are in the streets. So it does not change from coast to coast.
But why? Because she is educated.
There you go. It doesn't change. It's not like she's like, it does not change. Now, she might be a little bit easier to deal with compared to a woman in the United States because economically she's still on a lower level, but it's all economics. And so if I'd rather men admit that, just admit that that's a part of it. That's all. Just admit that it's a part of it.
They're not going to admit it because they're so stuck on, well, these women are more submissive. I mean, I could be submissive too for the right price.
Yeah, listen.
I'm just saying, sir.
Listen. Listen. These Thai women, when so let me tell you. Here's an example of what they do. Not all of them. I don't want to get in trouble, but my thorough research. How thorough that is questionable. So when they get a boyfriend, when you decide to be boyfriend girlfriend with a Thai girl, and they say especially the Thai bar girls, they said what they like to do is they take that American man, black, white, don't matter your race, the American man. The American man has to spend money. He has to buy a room. He has to basically take her because if you get a bar girl and you're gonna make her your boyfriend, she's been making money since before you got there. So you got to compensate for the money she's missing. That's one. Right. The spot that she has at the bar, you have to pay her, and then you got to pay the people at the bar, and then you got to pay for her to have somewhere to live while she's in that city that you met her in, because she has to pay for that. Then what they like to do is, oh, come back home and meet my family. I'm not trying to be funny with the accent. I'm just doing my best. You go meet their family, and what you find out when you go meet her family is that the father, he's there. He wants beer, from what I understand. He sleeps the best. The father, he sleeps the best in poverty. He's the only one with a mattress in most cases. In another room, there's the mother, there's the siblings, and they're all sleeping in another room. Hopefully they have a floor. They probably don't have, like, they're poor. So they bring the American or they bring the Westerner to see that. And when the Westerner looks and sees that everybody's living in dirt, what does he feel with his big ass simp heart from the West? Your big simp heart from the West is, oh my God. Oh, I'm going to save her. Oh, well, she got 3 or 4 of y'all on the hook. She done made that trip back home 3 or 4 or 5 times, baby. You're not special. So it's just know what you're dealing with. And again, when you change these time zones, it doesn't matter. You still got to look out for something. You got to watch for the hook.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that men have decided that an educated woman is beneath them because he has to try a little bit harder to measure up versus, well, I can just go get this woman out of poverty and she's going to be grateful, or I can go get this woman, 15 years my junior, and she's going to be grateful. And it's kind of sad. I know we talked about how when men will choose the youthful girl because you can still have babies and all of that kind of stuff. But what it really boils down to for a lot of these men is they don't want to be held accountable for lacking a personality. So they'll come up with all of these excuses as to why Western women are no longer desirable and they have to go get younger women or women in other countries, when it really boils down to, like, sir, it's you. If you having all of these problems with all of these women, it might be you.
All of them, like all of them.
I want to push back a bit there. I want to push back just a little bit there, because I do think that that the men I know would push back on women not having a lot of depth to their personalities.
Oh, I agree.
Like
I definitely agree with that too.
They're very consumer goods driven, whatever. So I want to push.
I agree.
And what I will say is that from my perspective, I find that women have had to evolve to become more, we have to be able to take care of ourselves and provide for ourselves, right? As we're moving as single women out here. So we have had to use that masculine side of our brain in order to make sure we're safe, make sure that we're financially secure. So we have had to evolve, right? And I think in the male mind, or some men, they are unwilling to evolve to the level of emotional transparency, working through some of those traumas, communication, conflict management. We understand that we have had to evolve, right, as women, but they think that because they're financially providing, that means that they don't have to evolve in an emotional state. And women there. And if you're unwilling to give that, well, then you have to go find someone who does not know enough to ask for those things. And those tend to be the ones that are younger, that are just happy that you're providing this stuff, which again is fine for now until 10 years pass. Over time, the same thing tends to happen. Women, they want to have conversations. They want to know that they are seen, heard, and validated. Like,
man,
a man that can admit when he's wrong. Like it's like it just little things like that can go a long way.
Whoa. Hold on. Time out. A man that can do what?
Admit when he's wrong.
Like there are some men that will argue, like they will argue. Like, again,
men aren't wrong though.
Lord Jesus.
Listen, when we're wrong, listen. When we're right, we're right. And when we're wrong, we're right. That's what needs to be. That's what needs to be understood. That's what needs to be understood.
For real.
See,
check, please.
Look. Let me say something. See, let me say. See, look.
Trust you, because now you would rather than admit you were wrong, you would get you and me both killed.
No. See, this is the problem. See, look.
Because you would not be willing to admit that you're wrong.
But what if I'm never wrong?
It's impossible for any one person in the world to never be wrong. It's impossible. I'm a whole Leo, and it's very often that we're right, but we're also wrong. It's not that much, but sometimes I'm wrong, and I'm willing to admit that. I sent an apology text to my ex-husband yesterday.
Even when I'm wrong, even when us men are wrong, we still right. And if y'all women wouldn't have got rights and y'all are saying rights and education and all that stuff evolved y'all. Frank has imparted it on my heart that it's actually more problematic. Oh shit!
Everything started to go south when they started wearing shoes.
Everything started going south. Everything started going south.
We all know it.
Okay, let's go a little bit deeper than that. Again, I'm always bring my sociology degree in this thing because this is what it is. The very reason women had to step out of this feminine energy we had was because men were just leaving women destitute by the droves. The way divorce law even came to be how it is with the whole 50% thing was men was like marrying, having other families, and just completely going to get milk and never coming back.
Look, we gotta be honest. Go watch the documentaries on the Great Depression and look at how many men during the Great Depression. That's where welfare came from. Dudes
just totally like walked away and bounced.
Dudes, and look, they weren't this color. They weren't this. They weren't that. But during the Great Depression, dudes were just like, they looked at that family of 4 kids and that wife.
4,
and they
that's
couldn't
a
make
little
no
family.
money.
They was having 12 and 13 children.
Listen, and they looked and said, "Hey, man," they put a bag on their shoulder. They hit the road, and they said, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start over."
I mean,
let them figure it out.
Again, that stuff. So and then like even I posted that thing in our chat from Dr. Umar Johnson where he admitted, he was like, the state of the Black family is the Black man's fault. We walked out on our families and left these single parents, but we blame the woman.
Because I don't want to say it's anybody's fault. I always say that it might not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. And I think as men, you want to be the leader, right? Well, part of being the leader says the buck stops with me. The CEO, the buck stops with him. And so we have to own and say, I don't care what came first, chicken or the egg. We're not going back and forth. I own that we have to right the family. And men at this point, some are unwilling to say, I'm willing to right the family. It's just easier to just blame women.
That's what I'm saying.
These men out here literally saying F the kids and starting whole new families. Like,
look, me and Frank had a brief conversation, and we want to tackle that Umar Johnson thing. I want to get into it, just not today, because I got to get it in. But the one thing I will say that we can both say we're tired of. Listen, as a man, I am about solutions. I've always been about solutions. Dating relationship dynamics, math problems. Is there a goddamn leak? Is the car running hot? I'm not finna talk about the goddamn car running hot. I'm not going to talk about the car running hot, complain about it running hot, and keep putting water in it I'm going to get to it. There's a point where I'm like, okay, I don't care that it's running hot. It needs to stop. What do I need to do? And you execute. What do we have? All the oh man, well, you drove it this day when you shouldn't have, or you drove it a little too long. If you did what I told you, man, good God, look, if you want to have that conversation, fine. Let's have that conversation one time. Let's have the conversation about how we got here one time. I'm not having that conversation 10 times. Because how long are we going to have the conversation about how we got here before we started to say, how do we move forward?
Right.
That's it.
That's always my problem with those conversations and this several years long thing. And I'm not attacking the red pill or any of that shit, but I'm like, yo, these several years long conversations about whose fault it is
for a long time.
And we got video after video and meme after meme and we're going to show some of them, video, meme after meme, post after post of examples of Black woman doing X, Y, Z. And then we got
on
the opposite, and on the other side of it, I see the other side of it too. I see the women on the other side saying Black men are doing X, Y, Z. Okay, we got it. Who says let's fix it? The women that are doing mommunes, or a bunch of men that are gonna say, all right, let's figure this shit out?
It's one of those things where there's no one fix. And I think people are trying to approach the problem like there is, and there just isn't, because women are not a monolith, men are not a monolith, Black people are not a monolith. We can go back to some of the things that worked in our communities, which was building community, but we also have to be conscious of, in building community, there was a point where women were alienated from safety.
Right.
So we have to incorporate some modern things. It's no different than
absolutely
a lot of parents changing to gentle parenting.
Listen, I don't want to hear this. Listen, this dumbass idea about modern women and modern men. Shut the hell up. All y'all dudes are modern.
Yes.
Y'all dudes
y'all ain't building
too.
no houses.
No, man, get out of here.
Y'all
bro.
ain't even changing y'all oil.
look, get out of here. Get out of here. There was a post the other day. Where a man said, y'all dudes that are out here using roadside assistance are sassy. And do you know how many dudes got on there? Do you know how many dudes got on there and said, I'm gonna use my roadside assistance? I'll be damn, I'm paying for it. I'm sitting right in my AC, use my roadside assistance. And yes, some of us cavemen were like, hell no. If something don't feel right about sitting there with my woman in the car, at least with my woman in the car, I'm gonna get out and get my hands dirty and I'm gonna change a tire.
I don't even use roadside assistance to change a tire.
Yo,
I just change the freaking tire.
But I'm telling you, those same men that say, I'm gonna use my roadside assistance will claim they not a modern man. Shut the fuck up. You modern too. All y'all modern. You use the internet and you watch cable. You modern. You living in air conditioning. You're modern. Right. You're not living off the land. You're not fishing. You're not hunting. You're not skinning bucks. You're modern. Stop. Like, quit playing. Y'all, we're all modern. We might have some principles that are throwback in nature, but the way you live, man, you ain't y'all, we're all modern. Unless somebody finna thaw somebody out tomorrow that was born in the 18th century, man, we all modern. So that modern shit, man, we got to get over that.
So you gotta have your Starbucks and your Dunkin' Donuts when you go to work in the morning.
Yeah,
you
man,
modern as hell.
man, these dudes modern as hell. Going to get massages and shit. Y'all modern as hell. Sitting on the internet and getting your nails done. You modern
at the nail shop.
You're if you're a passport bro, you're fucking modern. That's modern. That ain't what are we talking about? That's modern. You got your ass on a plane to fly in a vessel to breathe other people's breath to go to another country to find a woman that's not modern. Fuck out of here. You're modern. Shut up. So that modern woman shit that's got on my nerves for long. Modern women, you modern too.
And it goes even deeper because like they'll use it. Well, y'all modern women, y'all with your little degrees and you think you know everything and all of that. And it's like, but sir, didn't I meet you at my MBA program? So I'm confused.
Like, you ain't working in a steel mill. You modern too.
you go to work in a 2-piece suit every day. I'm confused.
Some of them got nursing degrees. It's dudes with nursing degrees calling women modern. Like, what the fuck? What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
You say you want to live a soft life.
Yeah, man. What the hell? All
male nurses
modern.
Be the best ones though. They like
man,
male nurses are really good nurses,
and they make a hell of a bag too. They
absolutely do.
Make some real good money too. I want to get into something light real quick. When is it okay for a man to embarrass himself for the woman he loves or the woman he wants? When is it okay? You said all the time?
All the time.
All right, bet. I'm gonna see if after this video, I want to know if you still agree with this. Go back.
Tú eres como el agua clara que llueve del cielo. Cabrón. Te quiero porque quiero que me quieras, porque como tú no hay nadie más que me pueda entender. Soñar
Chinga, qué pedo. Tranquilo, güey. Tranquilo, güey, tranquilo.
Todos mis deseos en cuestión de piel.
Tranquilo, güey, tranquilo ya.
Oh my God. So, Nicole, I don't know if you ever saw the video of the Hispanic man that shows up and he's singing, and as he's singing for this woman, the guy comes out in the cowboy hat and he's like, "What's up, bro?" Like what are we doing here? There's no dialogue. If you just look at the video, you can see what happened. Now, Frank, I want you to go back. You said it's never a problem to embarrass yourself for the woman you want, for the woman you love.
Hey man, dude put it all on. He put it all out on the table, man. Can't be mad at him for that, man. That's bravery. That man's brave. That man said, "I'm gonna let it be known, so ain't no confusion. So you won't need no clarification. I want you." He didn't know Cowboy was over there.
Yeah, he did. He knew.
He knew something wasn't right. He knew something wasn't right. The gate was closed. He showed up with a speaker, a karaoke set, and went and sang song. So he knew something wasn't right.
Man, when Cowboy go back to Arizona, she gonna remember him.
She still ain't gonna give him no play. He sat there and then cried. That video been going viral for like 8 years. That man ain't never living that down.
Okay, y'all want the nigga to be vulnerable or not?
Not that goddamn vulnerable. No. Look, Cowboy. Look at Cowboy. Look at him. He got his hat out like, bro, what? Bro, you see what? Look, he got the woman in the chokehold. Look at his arm. That arm is wrapped around. You know, that we used to see that when we was young, right, Frank? When you see a man and he with his woman, and we like, damn, he got her in chokehold on it. Damn, buddy, you ain't gonna let her breathe. You see a dude, he just got her locked up. He don't want to let this woman go. He got her he don't got his arm around her waist like a gentleman would, like a confident. He got his arm like locked in, like, come on, this is my woman now. And then he got his head out like, what? And to me, look, bro, when he's strong arming her like that, bro, I'm just gonna say this man to man. If he's strong arming her like that,
oh good Lord,
I don't need to say it. If he's strong arming her like that, out in front of you, bruh, you don't want to go. You don't want to run behind that. Don't go behind that. Just don't even go behind it. Just that whatever he did in there, it's like a bathroom. When you see certain people walk out of a bathroom, you just look them in their eyes. You see a certain man walk out of the bathroom, you know whatever he did in that bathroom, you don't want to go in there behind. And I'm not trying to, and I know it's wrong to compare a woman to a bathroom. I'm just saying that man has made a mess over there. You don't want to run behind that. Let it go. I
still stand with Pedro, man.
No, man. No, I ain't standing with that.
Regrets,
I'm not
Pedro.
standing with that.
No regrets.
Nicole, is this?
No regrets. I believe, and I told you before, it's one of those things that at least he knows. He ain't gonna look back and say, you know what, I wish I would have let her know. And we don't know what came before that. He could have been doing her dirty last week, and now you want to be out here with a karaoke singing,
which is usually the case.
Okay?
Oh man, y'all finna.
Don't cry now.
So he might have been in the doghouse, and this is the I'm getting out of the doghouse proposal. You caught a woman in my phone, so now I'm trying to show up big and trying to show you. And the dude with the hat is like, bro, I told you don't slip up. Told you, bro, don't slip.
You know what, Maria? Wow. She stepped out first.
Wow.
Because if you remember, she stepped out. She tried to tell him go, like go.
Man, Pedro innocent, man.
Look at him.
I don't know. I don't agree with anybody embarrassing themselves because I think that adds more to the hurt than necessary.
Yeah.
So grand gestures like this, or like people who do public proposals, not knowing whether they're gonna get a yes.
You need to know.
To me, it's a manipulation tactic because it's like I'm out here publicly displaying myself for you.
Look,
and nobody wants to be mean.
And she did this right here. She trying to, bro, don't do this to yourself.
See, like she did try to say.
See, this is when a man. This is that one. This is the 0.1% that a man is wrong, and a woman is trying to warn him, and he ain't goddamn listening. Look where it got him. Look where it got him.
He said 0.1.
0.1.
Wrong. He was wrong.
God.
0.1% that a man was wrong. Look at her. She like, go. She get up out. Look. And look, homeboy peeked out first. He peeked out. He said, wait, look at it. He peeked.
And he went and got his good hat first.
And he, oh man. Look at him. Oh man. And she leaned into him a little bit. You saw her booty meat. She kind of put that booty back on him. She kind of, oh, come on. Hey,
he went to the ugly cry too.
Yeah. You know, and he toughed it through the song. My man,
That's
he
man.
You can't be doing this public stuff like this, man. You got to he's recording you and he will put you online. You
look, he hunched over. He hunched over. Like, watch how strong he is. He gonna yell.
Tranquilo ya. No te merecías.
I'm telling you now. Listen, Frank, we've been friends for a long time. We've been friends for a long time.
You're gonna be the one recording him and put it online.
No, bro. I'm gonna look at Frank. I'm gonna look him dead in his eyes. Say, bro, we got one option right now to actually save face. We gotta hop this gate. We gotta hop this gate. You ain't finna embarrass me out here, your homeboy. We gotta hop this gate, and we gotta see. We gotta see how much. We gotta see how much old boy weigh. We gotta find out.
And see how bad Cabo really want
it. Yeah, boy. Let's see if Brave Star real. Let's find out. Come on now. We gotta find out. We gotta test his metal real quick, man. You can't because you can't ride back with me after this. You can't that car ride wherever we gotta go. That's gonna be a long ride.
Crazy.
That's gonna be a long ride. So I thought I'd break up our seriousness with a little bit of comedy at the mercy of a man embarrassing himself. Listen, I believe to varying degrees it's okay to embarrass yourself for your old lady. You know, you want to do a little grand gesture or you want to dress a certain way. If your woman wants y'all to dress like a strawberry shortcake for Halloween and hey man, by all means, you know, she wants you to dress up like the California raisins and you got to be a big ass raisin for Halloween. I'm okay with that level of embarrassment. That shit right there, nah, never. And that's self-inflicted. So that's on him. I don't think she called him over there to do that.
Man, totally self-inflicted. Sometimes you just got to put it all out on the line.
Nah, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely not with it. I would feel horrible. Next thing I got up is another situation. This one isn't funny necessarily, but I want to know, when is having fun with your significant other and it becomes disrespect? How do you handle that? How do you handle it? Now I'm gonna play it. There's not a lot of audio with it, so you ain't gotta worry. You'll just be able to see the video, Nicole. Not a lot of audio. I just want to know when this is too far for me.
Oh, I saw this.
Why you laughing, bro? You ain't shit today.
This ain't the type of embarrassment I'm talking about.
Look.
Every time.
Like he got, bro. Listen, he taller. He got a beard.
Then he did
dark. He dark skinned. He got a bottle of Hennessy. She had to climb down. Listen, bro. Ladies, y'all, did she go too far? Or is it the man's fault? Or is it the man's fault?
No. Now I've said before, a lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. So clearly, he lacks some boundaries. But again, she's showing you like that she don't respect you. Period.
Period. She holding on. And does she got a dress on too?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. If he would have yanked her by her hair off that man, I might have been like, she kind of deserved it. Because that's a bit much.
Don't and you're
Oh, she coming back. She coming back.
You don't disrespect your man in public like that. That was uncalled for. Like, there's no planet would that be okay ever.
I want to know what happened afterwards.
Frank, what happened? What happened after?
I'm sorry, she wouldn't have been able to get in no car with me.
What happened after, Frank? What happened after this?
He took her home and apologized to her for not being man enough.
Woo!
That nigga told her, "Yeah, I deserve that." This nigga, look at this nigga got on damn Daniel's son Miyagi Dojo headband. Of course he gonna get done like that.
I'm about
and
to
she
look
put
at the IG
she
thing,
put coochie lips all on that nigga name too.
Who's child?
She finna come. She gonna come back and find that dude.
He held her hand walking away.
There's no way,
bro. They listed the dang Instagrams of both of them. I'm about to look them both up right now.
Uncalled for.
Because when I saw that, I was like, that must be, it gotta be either that's an ex.
No, there ain't
no. Okay, that would be a whole nother level. No.
It just seemed way too comfortable, and I'm just like, there's history there.
That couldn't be your brother. It couldn't be your daddy. It couldn't be
no. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying that they know each other.
Yeah, because
so
that's
I
why
wonder,
she was that comfortable.
So yeah, because he scoops her up. Oh wait, okay. Hold on, okay. You know what happened? See, this is the danger zone that dudes don't know about. When you out with your girl, and you know you go to a club or go to a spot, and you get that hey big head. She walked by that. This is the dude that did her wrong in the past. That's the one that ain't shit. That's the bad guy, right? She went up and just, hey stranger, hey big head. Stink is the new word y'all gotta walk out. Hey stink. And then they hug. And he just snatched her right on up like, good time. And he didn't care nothing about the dude that was walking by. One, because his homeboy is probably right there. Two, he got a bottle of Hennessy, so that suggests that he might be lit or close to it. And Daniel's son, like my boy said, he just grabbed her hand and just keep on walking. He just keep on walking. There's no reality where I would have, man, listen, I would have saved face and at least kept walking. Like I'm talking about, I'm gonna leave her right there with that dude. Right there. I'm not finna fight. I'm not finna swing. I'm not finna grab her. I'm not finna raise my voice. I'm just gonna keep walking. And when she come chasing, no. How no? I'm just gonna ride off.
That's it.
That nigga stood there and waited for her ride to expire. Like he gave her a quarter.
Okay, so the guy who I'm guessing this is the guy who took the picture. I found his IG. No, this is the guy who picking her up. His IG is active.
His IG is what?
His IG is active. Hers is not.
She had to delete that shit. Yeah, you better have. But it's still, there's no amount of deletion. There's no amount of coming back off of social media. There's no amount of nothing. Like there's no amount of nothing. We couldn't. Oh, I gotta let me see. Hold on. All right, Chefy sent me the thing. That's there you go.
That's
there you go. All right. So let me do a little screen share here. Since Chefy want to be all, boy, you gotta watch these techie views. You see how quick she tracked that man down.
Real quick.
She track you anywhere in the world, baby. Don't play with it.
See, this is how women. See, this is how women got us faded, man. Like she tracked this man down that quick, and that ain't even her man. There you go. Let me find it. Hold on. I'm gonna share the screen. Y'all. Hold on. Wait 1 second. Homeboy wildin'. Oh, there it's up there. There you go.
Yeah,
that's my boy right there. That's our homeboy right there. That's him. There you go. That's him. Yeah, that's party boy. That's fun guy. Yeah, I get it. Look at him. Got the beard, got the hair. He tall. Does he got a podcast? Or we gonna get him on the show? I want to talk to him. I'm saying, dead for real.
That is hilarious.
No, I don't want to switch accounts, man. Why are you trying to get me to switch accounts? Damn, man, I thought we want me to sign in. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get him on the show. I'm gonna see if he can come on and discuss what happened right there.
Because I'm curious. Because they just seem too familiar.
Yeah, they do. It looked like that was a light conversation before he scooped up.
Yeah, before he scooped up. I'm telling you, it was the situation.
I would be so.
It was. It was definitely the situation where you go for the hug, hey stranger, and then he just scooped up like, girl, what you?
He scooped her up like that because he done scooped her up like that before.
Hell yeah, he done scooped up like that before. And she done told a little bunny rabbit boy, she done told B Rabbit that's how she like to be handled. And B Rabbit ain't did it yet. So now he feel even worse.
Yeah, B Rabbit.
Yeah, man. B Rabbit.
Don't be hating.
Feel fucked up, man.
That is
yeah, man.
All right. Well, I have to hop off now, but it was always a pleasure to cross y'all.
All right, we'll see you. We'll see
Appreciate
you next week.
you,
Come on, if you don't have a date,
next time.
She had a date. She ditched us for a date last time, y'all. I'm put all her.
Oh, that's what it was.
Ditched us for a date. Yeah, always ditching us for a date. But
wow.
she played, boy. Look, yeah,
Go be great. Don't pay them no mind.
Don't tell you take. All right. Talk to y'all later.
All right.
All right. Have a good night. We get ditched for dates. We gonna get ditched for a little baby when he get born.
Absolutely.
But we listen. We
No, I'ma still be
Boy,
on. I might have turn my camera off to breastfeed or something, but I still be here.
yeah, don't be on here popping udders out and nothing like that.
Hey,
we don't need
man.
that. Come on now.
I'm feeding the next generation.
That's what I'm talking about. But that situation, man, that's highly disrespectful. It's very sad. And speaking of disrespect, we gotta take it to another level.
His shirt too little, so he kind of was asking for it a little bit.
He might have been. But speaking of disrespect, I want to know, what respect do we have for our ancestors?
Whew.
What respect do we still have for our ancestors? Not this video, but we're gonna go with this one right here. It doesn't say, but these women, they were on the cake. They were dancing like this on a former slave quarters, or what was that?
Yeah, that was where that was at like the trading post.
Yeah.
So that was like a slave dungeon. That's where they kept the slaves to get ready to be transported.
And they said, we're doing this for the ancestors.
Yeah.
So here's my question. For the ancestors. By that, do they mean to disrespect the dungeon?
I think that was the intention.
That's maybe because it's still a monument. I mean, because would it be any different than shooting dice on a Confederate flag? No, it wouldn't. If we saw a bunch of brothers shooting dice on a Confederate flag, or grilling on a Confederate flag, or using a Confederate flag to wipe up, to clean their car, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to, because I don't want to I don't know what's in their heart. And I think what we're seeing a lot of this public twerking, I think we're exhausted by it by now. I think we really are.
Very much so.
And so I think so with the public twerking that we constantly observe, time and place jumps in right here, and we don't know their intent, but we keep seeing this public twerking everywhere. We're seeing it at people's restaurants and lounges where they having to tell people to stop and putting people out. We're seeing it in graduations and family gatherings. Like, we're seeing it everywhere. And it's like, okay, is there a place? There got to be something else we can do. And I say we because there are women that look like me, as far as my race, and I don't know them, but they represent black to a lot of people that are not black.
Man,
so to what level do we actually respect our ancestors?
You would think in a moment where you're standing where your ancestors were chained together and caged like animals, at the very least, you would just take a moment to reflect on that and be grateful that because you're alive, you are the offspring or the descendants of the ones who survived that. So that should be some type of honor, something to honor them. This ain't it, because this is done everywhere at any given moment, and this ain't a middle finger to what they went through.
Authority. Yeah.
This is a disgrace. Because listen to what they're singing to amp themselves up. And then somebody else said, not the ancestors. So that wasn't their intent. Their intent was to be on camera shaking their funky asses.
I have a real problem with this young generation thinking that all they got to offer is their body.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because it's like we get women getting fussed at because us older heads are acting like the thing we have to offer is our degrees and because we got money. And then the younger ones just offering their body for everything. And it's like, I'm exhausted with being a woman sometimes. I really am. Because there's a gigantic lack of just plain old decorum that a lot of us were raised with. But then there's this whole vibe of, well, I'm grown, I can do whatever I want, and if I want to do this, you can't judge me, kind of thing too. And I don't know. I'm just really exhausted with being a woman. Sometimes I just be like, I want to be a guy. Because I don't think I'd have to put up with a lot of the foolishness. Because there was no real reason to do this other than to be hood with it in another country and kind of disrespectful at the same time. You're not paying homage to the ancestors. You're not really, I mean, they can say, well, we gonna dance on top of struggle and all of that. And it's like, what happened when them black folks was crumping to them police? They still got arrested. Dancing ain't solving nothing. Versus, y'all were there. What did you learn? Did you learn anything? Did you walk away with any new perspectives? Did you tap into your empathic energy and actually listen to the ancestors? Did any of that happen? Nah, y'all just went up there and twerked and went viral for it. So yeah, I'm just exhausted.
It is, man. And listen, for anybody that catches this segment, man, I don't ever share this to paint black women in a light. I'm not. It's not that. If this would have been some dudes up there shooting dice, I would have posted it just the same
thing.
Because what Sheffy said is there's this idea that, well, we young and we can do what we want because we grown. Like, stop judging us, let us live. And I know we all sound like old people that's saying get off my lawn, but when you've lived through some stuff and see, and the sad part is, we hope that they're younger than us by a stretch. We hope.
Lady in Orange don't look
they
like
could very well be in our generation.
I hope not. God forbid.
That's the scary part. They could very well be in our age group almost. And it's just sad to see this again. It's not a good representation. I don't ever try to paint anybody in a negative light, but when you say for the ancestors, and when you do this on top of a dungeon that held former slaves,
child, the ancestors are not pleased. I can tell you. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, put it like this: you don't ever see a goddamn Jewish person doing this at any remembrance anywhere.
Nope.
In Auschwitz. See, and I'm gonna go on a little rant for y'all that be getting all in y'all feeling, oh, Jews run everything. They run everything, and they whenever we do something, if somebody can find me a video of some Jewish people doing this at Auschwitz, I'll shut the hell up and I'll never make that comparison again. Guarantee you won't find it.
It'd be different if they were doing an ancestral dance or something there, because that would actually be paying homage to the ancestors.
Yeah, because we're free now. So look what we get to do on this site.
Right, but now y'all showed up with some old ghetto twerking. Okay.
It's definitely sad, man. If this was my daughters, man, I'd be so disappointed. Man, I wouldn't speak to my daughters for a stretch just behind this.
Like that.
And you know what? Huh?
No, go ahead. You finish.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't speak to my daughters for a stretch for doing something like this, man. I'd be incommunicado, or they'd be incommunicado for a stretch.
But that's like there's no decency, there's no shame. And I hate the fact that because of this PC environment, social environment that society has succumbed to, they've painted being shamed as something like bullying, when actually it was something that would correct a shameful act.
Yeah.
So now,
whenever I was told I should be ashamed of myself, I was normally when my elder said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself," I was normally partaking in something that I should have been ashamed of.
Yeah.
I guess it's part of. It's like I've done many things I'm ashamed of. And I'm willing to talk about the things I'm ashamed of, because I try to impart wisdom on other people who may be making similar mistakes so they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was very candid with my children about certain things that have happened in my past, dating abusive men, even how their father and I became to be married, just as cautionary tales. And, you know, I never wanted to be the person who's judgmental in that I'm just saying, you shouldn't do this, you should be ashamed of yourself, like my shit don't stink. I've never been that. I will consciously say, I made this mistake, so I'm trying to help you not make this mistake. And I think that's where a lot of it comes from, because you got some people that's just plain old judgmental and they ain't never been through nothing. Like the single people who've never been married telling a divorced person, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Like, child, have several seats. You haven't experienced this to know how to deal with it. So your judgment is kind of
go do it. Go do it. Yeah, go do it and then come back and holler.
Exactly. Because the perspective is completely different. So I think that's where a lot of it has come in. You will have, you know, white women judging black women for certain things. They don't live our experiences. So they need to have several seats and shut the hell up. But when we come and talk to each other, and this goes, if you look at like what's going on with India Ari and the whole Meg Thee Stallion and what you call it situation. I mean, if you really look at Indy's kind of persona, it's been pick me the whole time. People don't want to admit it has been, but she's been kind of pick me the whole time. That's always been her vibe. She's gonna come out and say something.
That's she's always, it's like, India, God, I don't like the word pick me because I know it's used, but to compare her and Meg is like comparing Anita Baker to
Beyonce.
Who was the ratchet contemporary of Anita Baker's time? I don't know.
We didn't have any ratchet
Janet
contemporaries
Jackson
back then.
Well, I guess if while Anita Baker was doing music, you had Janet Jackson say "nasty girl." You know what I'm saying? There's always been these ends, right?
Yes.
And you wouldn't compare them, but for India Ari to say something, it's kind of like, yeah, she kind of can.
She kind of can, but at the same time, she's also kind of condescending with it. And I made a post about this the other day, and I was like, we listened to the song video, and everybody's like, well, no, it's an empowerment song. No. Listen to them lyrics, how she talking about them other women.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, she's definitely talking. She's definitely talking down. She's talking down. She's basically really propping herself up. She was.
And we let that go as, oh, this is a self-empowerment song. No, baby, it wasn't. But we gonna let
because she said people gotta listen to them last word. Because I am a queen?
Yes.
She was saying I'm up here because y'all do that because y'all and look, listen, socially, ethically, morally, I mean, does she stand in a seat to say it? I don't know her life. I don't know. But if you compare it to Meg Thee Stallion, if you compare the two, if people were going to have a moral vote, they going with India Arie.
But I've seen people go the opposite way and say she just need to be quiet. So it's
they can say she need to be quiet. They can say she need to be quiet, but in their heart of hearts, because they love Meg and what she stands for them, they just don't want to go against that.
That's fair. And that's why I say I'm just exhausted by all of it. Because here I sit in the middle and I'm looking at the both spectrums, and I'm just like, both of y'all getting on my nerves.
Like, why can't y'all both peacefully coexist without one side making another side feel bad about it? But it kind of goes back to
the whole shame thing.
The whole shame thing and decorum, which we lack in abundance. Which, quick shout out to all y'all people that do have some decorum and y'all live y'all lives, y'all represent the right way. Shout out to y'all. We're talking about those that choose not to, and then these extremes where, again, somebody's twerking on a goddamn a slave dungeon. Like, why? Why?
Man, what I hate is this oversaturation of this this project chick persona.
Ooh, child, you said a whole
and
word.
To me, I mean, we've always known that it's always existed, but that image is what we used to keep in the shadows. But now it seems like it's being thrown to the forefront and celebrated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that ugly little thing they call herself Sexy Red.
Sukiana?
No, she ugly too, but the other ugly one.
Oh, Sexy Red. Big
Yeah,
Sexy,
that
whatever
one.
her name is.
That one. Like, that used to be the one, like, hey man, don't tell her where the party at. Or
You're right. You're right. Like, man, who invited them? Damn.
Yeah, it's like, god damn. How them niggas find out where it was at? Like
they gonna come shoot up the place.
Yeah, we try to distance ourselves from that, from that image, from that mind, from that mentality, and what comes with it. But now it's being celebrated. Like at the BET Awards, when her and that missing tooth girl, there's always fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that damn jack-o'-lantern.
Wow.
when they was in the aisles and the gospel show host Bobby Jones was sitting there like, it's like, come on, man. It's like, man, we used to when we pulled up to the church yard, we'll turn the radio down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
But now there's no reverence, there's no respect, and the less of it there is, the more lit it is. It's like, man, what's wrong with us? Like, what happened to honor, decency, respect, and reverence?
We ain't got no daddies in the homes.
I didn't have one either, but I learned all that from my grandma.
Hey, there we go.
Grandmama had time to be grandmama because of granddaddy.
That nigga wasn't there.
Okay.
That wasn't there.
I learned it all from my grandmama too. It wasn't no man around either, so I get it.
See, but see, you know what? Somebody somewhere. So I think what it is we got multiple, and when I mean by multiple, I mean couple, because it don't take a lot. If you're 2 generations removed from decorum, you're done. You're done. Yeah. So if one of these, I don't even want to call them women or whatever they are.
Hood
I know I sound so white, like I don't associate with the culture. Women rappers, whatever they are. It's because I respect rap to a degree, so I don't want to call them that. And I'm trying to disassociate them with hip hop, but they're in the house of hip hop, I guess.
No, they're more rap than hip hop.
Yeah, culture, the music.
Like,
you see why I said. You see why it's like I want to move them somewhere else. But when you have a generation raised by a generation that didn't have decorum, then you going to constantly, because man, I would 100% appreciate if when they got off of these videos, if the videos were just an act, I would appreciate that a lot more. And I know you dress up like you dress up, on stage. Michael Jackson dressed up like he dressed up when he was on stage out, different people do different things, but he's a great. But what I mean is, like, you turn that shit down when you're at a ceremony, when you're at an event. Like you said, when you pull up to the church or when you're around elders and you're around older people, you dial that shit down. And it seems as if, like Frank said, they actually keep it going because we lit. We were lit at that bitch. We lit at that bitch. We out wherever we go. We outside. We lit at. It's like.
But here's the thing: they were not raised by people who were not raised by decorum. These are the children of our generation,
right?
But we was raised by grandmamas.
See, but what I'm saying
in the church.
But what I'm saying is, maybe because there's 2 groups that are in my age group and in our age group. There's more than one group.
Fair.
There are those that move kind of like we do, and then there's those that chose to move another way. We all had children, so if we all reproduced, what did we teach? Did we throw it away and say, "Hey man, live your best life," or did we say, "Hey man, that's not how we act"? My grandmother used to always say is my grandmother even used to tell me stuff like, "Oh, there's certain things that we just don't laugh at." And y'all know I laugh at it. I think everything's funny. But my grandmother was like, there's certain things we don't joke about. There's certain things we don't laugh. Like, they would like, and I know my grandmother, if she heard me joke about certain things, she'd be like, oh my God, you was raised better than that.
Yes.
I know you not. You know what I'm saying? That video, I told y'all, my aunt rolled up on me for that brisket video I made. The brisket video. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no. And I'm like, just doing a brisket.
You got in trouble for the brisket video?
Yeah, I got in trouble for that brisket. I got called. That was a phone call. A phone call. I don't know where. Listen. I don't even know. I don't even know where that video is. Wherever it is, it's in the ether somewhere. It's on TikTok. I don't know where it is. But I got a call about that video. My aunt said, "You got daughters, and you gonna want them to choose a suitable man. And would you want them to choose a man that was making a video about?" You know what you was talking about in that video. And, and all I can say is yes, ma'am. All I can say is yes, ma'am.
Better.
All I can say is yes, ma'am. What would I look like telling my aunt I'm grown? Auntie, I'm grown. That's what we do nowadays. People know it's fun. I could have said that. But I thought about it and I said,
she gonna call your daddy.
Listen, she wouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? But I respected what she had to say. It wasn't no discussion about it. And you know, Auntie, that was my intent. But you know what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I ain't made one of them videos since. And trust me, I had a whole lot more going. Oh boy. I had a 2 in the pink video I wanted to do for one, but that's a whole nother day. Yeah, I was gonna turn it all the way up. But Auntie shut that down, man. She shut that down. So there is a conversation to be had, and I think a younger generation can always hear from the elders when those elders are respectable. I think sometimes that these elders may not be that respectable. So even when they say something, if they are so bold to say something, that these young people are like, who are you to tell me anything? Wasn't you the one?
I mean, yeah.
Wasn't you, mama? Yeah, you was that freaking it, and it ain't. You never know what those conversations was like.
But that all goes back into the things we are ashamed of that we have done as adults in our lives shouldn't be points of where we decide to turn judgment on our children instead of, like I remember distinctly when I started dating my ex-husband, my grandmother was like, "Why are you dating a man with children?" And I said, "Well, granddaddy dated you." And she's like, "We ain't talking about me." But the reason it struck me is because she was really coming at me like, this is just things we don't do versus I've done this before and here were some of the issues. Had she been more like, I'm telling you because I don't want you to make the same mistakes and actually talking to me about it versus, just being judgmental, I probably would have listened a lot more. But no, she can't. I don't know why y'all young girls be out here dating men with all these children. You had 5 kids from granddaddy married you. I don't know what you're talking about. We ain't talking
about that judge, and that, you know what? You're absolutely right, because we've talked about this more. When the younger generation can identify a little bit, it don't mean y'all friends, it don't mean y'all the same, it don't mean y'all on the same level. But when you'll impart a little wisdom about what it was like for you growing up, this is what I went through, and your children realize that you were a child before.
Right.
I used to always think like, damn, y'all kids don't realize that I was a kid too. But a lot of times children see you as grown. They wonder if you were ever a kid.
Right.
Because those are the questions that they ask you. Y'all act like y'all don't know what it was like to be a kid before. That, that's the frustration children have with parents. And so it's not that. It's just like, man, are we that far removed from decorum? We're quite far removed. Anyway, last thing I want to touch on. Iyanla, man. Iyanla be going in. Does Iyanla still have a show? Does she still put in work?
No, she stopped.
No, she don't have a show no more.
So
she does private like consulting.
Yeah. Because I know I was hearing something about she was getting death threats. Like they basically ran her off. Like, Fix My Life is no longer a thing. And it's unfortunate, man, because I believe what she was doing, she wasn't setting out to embarrass anybody. She was really setting out to be what a lot of us say we want elders to be. Like you saying, Chef, not judging, but being transparent, calling people out straight out on what they're doing wrong, but saying, hey, the reason I know this is wrong and this is not going to work because I went down that path and it's just not going to work. So I want to share this video from Iyanla. She was trying to get this woman right. She was trying to get her lined up.
You know how to have a baby. Do you know how to mother a child? I mean, really. You've never experienced a real man loving, honoring, respecting you. And you got 4 sons. What are you going to teach them about being a man?
I can't because I'm not a man.
Are you a woman? You may have the parts and the pieces, but do you have a vision? Do you have a dream? Do you have standards? Do you?
Yeah.
Well, what is the standard that you have to have a baby with a married man when you got 5 you ain't taking care of? What's that standard?
I don't have no answer for that.
Baby, I'm not seeking to upset you. I want you to get real about what's going on here.
I know, but I would appreciate it if you wouldn't make no more comments aimed at my last child's father. He's done a lot of good things for our kid and me.
He's cheating on his wife.
Okay, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's his character. That's his integrity.
Miss Iyanla,
and what you can do is tell yourself, you can tell yourself a lie. Would it be okay for your daughter to have a baby by him?
No, and we had that discussion, but I don't want to keep just beating a dead horse. Okay, we know that.
What are you gonna do about it?
Can't do nothing now. The baby here.
This is not about the baby. This is about you.
So essentially what she said in that last part, it cut off a little bit, but she basically said, this is not about the baby. This is about you. And the woman already has 5 kids and she just had another baby by a married dude. And apparently she's struggling to take care of those 5 kids. Man, I want to know, man, and this is serious, man. And I'm not trying to employ something like eugenics, but what are the results or what is the damage from procreating irresponsibly? Like what is the damage long term that I think we're getting better statistically at it, but again, if this woman is around our age and she's got 5 sons or 5 kids and several sons and she just had another, man, I cannot tell you what I would have felt for my mother if she would have went out and got pregnant by a married man while struggling to raise me and my brothers. I'll repeat that again. If it was me and my mom, 3 boys, let's just say my dad wasn't involved and my mother is struggling. And then she goes out, my mom, and has another kid by a married man. I can say that my respect would be for her as an individual would be probably shot, because there's a chance that it'll be shot. We already struggling, so why'd you bring another kid into this situation, Mom? You brought another kid in here by a man that's married, Mom. A married man that's, he might take care of his kid, but he's not going to come in here and fill the role of dad. And then what kind of impression does that give a young black man or a young black girl about their mother or themselves?
I mean, we see the damage right now. The men out here that literally hate women, a lot of that hate manifested from their mothers and how they saw their mothers interact with men, how they allowed men to treat them, how they allowed, certain lack of standards, or even, how they would just abuse their own bodies for these things. And then you have to take it back even further than that. These women are also products of single parent homes where they're typically giving their bodies to men for attention that they didn't get from fathers.
Mm-hmm.
So it creates a cycle of just fatherless children. You got the grandmama who didn't have a man in the house. So now she has a bunch of daughters who don't have men in their lives. They have a bunch of sons who then watch there's no man around. And now we have a generation of just hurt ass people. So this woman is essentially using her body to gain favor with men and isn't really looking at the damage it's causing her sons because she's still stuck in, I need a man's attention from her childhood. So it ain't even about that the man is married. It's just that the man gave her some attention she wasn't getting.
Listen, and again, I know eugenics is extreme, but man, listen, if there was a technology that could just, everybody gets this thing, and until you prove that you're a responsible adult on some level, just on some level, really a responsible adult, you can't reproduce. I know that's taking a shot, but and I'm deadly serious when I think of this stuff, because the results you get some diamonds from the rough. Yes, you get some roses out of the concrete. But man, you get Chicago. You get Chicago, man. You get those projects with all those young brothers that are, lighting each other up. And they're all from situations similar to this, more than likely. And so if there was something in place to where, hey man, you got to make it to 25 years age, man or woman, and we can look at you got to go into a office or clinic or something. And I know that's dangerous because people get scared and start thinking, well, man, you get something like that in place, black and brown people won't be able to recreate. Listen, let me tell you something. Black and brown people are the most on the earth. We're the most abundant, so we're going to always recreate. So I mean, that's just going to happen. But I think, man, I wish there was something that we had in place, forced, that would make people procreate responsibly, where their circumstances are more ideal, and their choices in partners were more ideal. Go ahead,
that would
Frank.
be great. That would be absolutely lovely.
It's tough because the people who are procreating responsibly are the people who are not having children.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already at a disadvantage because the gene pool itself is being relegated to less than viable options because the main people who need to procreate are not.
The reckless are getting to it.
Yeah. So
I ain't never seen people more hornier than impoverished people.
Like, they're not hornier though, Frank. They just can't afford to be safer.
Man, them niggas ain't thinking about safe. Them niggas just busting nuts and hungry. Like I don't understand. Like, man,
but here's the crazy part. See, I don't know what she's a married woman.
She's married?
No, I mean she got pregnant by a married man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spin it a little bit. I'm gonna spin something just a little bit. Somebody said something the other day which I challenged. They said the idea was that men don't go chasing hood women the way women go chasing hood dudes. And I said, you know what? Hold on. There you go. I said, nope. I said, there's a difference. I said, men might not try to get in relationships with him, but they fetishize the shit out of him. And that married man who's got his whole life together, with his whole house on the hill, with a dog and a wife and a kids and a minivan and everything else, he slide right down to the projects, find this woman right there with a whole bunch of kids, and something about her ratchet disposition and how she carried herself, he fetishizes that just a little bit, and he can provide something. He got a little something going for himself that the others around there don't, and then they have sex and they get a little wild. Maybe this is the one time a week he can get some Hennessy because his wife don't like Hennessy or liquor in the house.
Raw from the jump.
Yeah, and he might have. However he was doing it,
raw from jump,
and he got her pregnant, and he gonna pay child support. He gonna take care of what he gotta take care of because he's relatively responsible. But she's gonna be raising that child by herself predominantly because the wife ain't finna let him bring that baby back home. That's not happening.
If the wife even know the baby exists.
If the wife even know the baby's here.
You know she don't.
Huh? But
you know the wife don't know the baby is.
Hey, don't say that. She could. She could. Right. She could very well know, but she could just be like, I don't care what you got going on. That baby ain't coming in this house. And if you bring that baby in this house, I'm leaving you and I'm taking these other 4 kids. And let me tell you, bro, if he let's just say this man makes any real money. And let me give you the numbers on this. If he has 3 kids, let's just say all up under the age of 12, and let's just say they're upper middle class, and he can afford to take care of a wife, and he sneaks down to the hood and gets something in the hood pregnant, and the wife finds out, he will be living in the hood when she's done with his ass. Because one thing about the way marriage works still, if you as a man step out and go get somebody pregnant, we're talking about real, full proof, living, breathing proof of infidelity, and you are a man of any sort of means, that woman is walking away with half. This is a situation where she will get, she will, this is where a woman will walk away with, the house is hers. There will be spousal support. There will be child support.
Even if you don't make any money, you still risking it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if he's a married man, I'm imagining, Frank, if this was your situation, Carol would be good. Like, oh, what? Oh, you got to get out that house, and you would have to at least still pay that mortgage at the very least, and you got to go find you a place to stay.
You can be in a little 1-bedroom studio somewhere.
Yep. and the kids stay right up at the house, and so
with an air mattress.
What the trade-off in a situation like that is, through tears and anger, that woman says, "You will not bring that little bastard in this house. You will not embarrass me. It won't be coming to no functions," and they refer to it as it. And they, like, I'm telling you, because you done went down and did what?
Which I think is so awful because it's punishing the child, and the child ain't doing nothing.
It sucks. It sucks. But man, listen, man, it's rough. It would be only a real woman would let that baby and that woman come to stay at the house. Real woman would do that. A real woman gonna let me bring the baby and my side woman there. A real woman. No. But we don't make them no more. They don't make them no more. So we got to deal with these modern women, Frank. We got to deal with these modern women.
I be in court right with them. Go on and get custody of baby.
Man, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so the wife might not know wife might know, but she's got man, that's a powerful position, bro. She will always be in power in that marriage. Always. She now calls the shots and always will. Because there is living, breathing proof of infidelity.
But see, if you go, as a man, do some foolishness like this, you got to get out before anybody finds out.
Yeah. The moment she got pregnant, you should file for divorce.
Right. Like,
that make too much sense.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta burn it down. You gotta burn it down.
You got to, because that's the only way you can do a controlled burn. You got to. You got to do it yourself. You let somebody else do a controlled burn, they napalming it. You might just come out there with a little flamethrower, but you let somebody. Man.
Yeah, you're right. You like you said, just come out there with a little flamethrower, just set the lawn on fire,
right?
And just start going around the bushes, burn it.
Because then decisions can't be made based on your infidelity. It's just based on irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, and
but
gotta move fast.
Here and be like, well, the law is against men. No, your behind was stupid and you didn't act fast enough.
Yeah.
Because whoever gets caught first,
they think he'll get caught. Nigga probably banked on his wife forgiving him and keeping him.
Oh, she did. No. See, she is forgiving him, and she's keeping him in check. Go to that social media profile.
That man
that
gonna
social
spend
media.
The next
that's
20 years of his life being pissed off because she gonna bring that shit up every time he do something.
Man, they social media profile right now got a couple's face on it.
both their names on it too.
Everything. The wall in the background got live, love, laugh on it. Like, boy, they finna make it look beautiful.
They taking family pictures every month.
Oh my God. What? Oh,
family vacations.
Everything.
And posting everything.
Everything. New. She you think she ain't got a new car? You think she ain't got a new car? Child. Man, boy, she gonna cook.
Men ain't smart, man. Some of y'all ain't smart.
She said, "This is the only way you can do a controlled burn. Just go ahead, take a flame."
You got to. You got to burn it down yourself.
I'm smart enough to stay completely away from it.
And that's fine too, which would actually be advisable for most dudes, especially.
But that's not gonna happen.
Especially if you're in a situation where the woman is actually the breadwinner in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's some things you probably shouldn't be doing, sir.
Now, if she was the breadwinner, and again, she knows, again, if they have any status, but if they have any status, see, people got to remember that marriage is also a business decision. And sometimes keeping it going is just the overall best business decision. That woman, his wife, just might be a machine about it, calculated. Like, okay, now I can just play this as a business going forward. As a business, she might be treating it as such, but you listen. You do yourself a disservice when you do stuff like this, reckless. Like Frank said, don't do it at all. The best thing is don't do it at all. But boy, if you finna go play this game, if you finna go swim in them shark infested waters, be prepared.
Like if you gonna go play in the hood, keep a stack of Plan Bs in the car or something.
Man, look, bro.
Keep an extra bank account for the little $450.
First of all, she might not even go get that. She might not even look. She might not even go get that, knowing what you got. She might not. Man, look, man, get a vasectomy, bro. Y'all stop playing.
Hey,
and I'm not. And that's not a reason. That's not the reason I got mine. Not at all. But just like you can at least do that. You can at least avoid another child coming into that situation, because again, we finna talk about this woman procreating irresponsibly, but that married man, oh, he did too. And now he has a seed out there that won't grow up in that household with him under his influence.
Yep.
Like that old raggedy ass Brian Gardner in that damn group I'm in. Like this dude has like every time I'm on a post and he mentioned anything about anything related to pregnancy or women, I'm like, bro, I don't want you to ever speak. I don't respect you. Like, get out of here. I'm like,
he was just like, well, I pay my child support, so that's all that matters, sir. Nobody cares about none of that.
He got his fiance pregnant, and because she wouldn't abort, and because the birth control didn't work, he decided that, okay, have the baby. I'll pay child. Yeah, I'll pay. Yeah, he felt like she tried to trap me. He said, I will pay child support, but I'll never have anything to do with this kid. And when I think about that, bro, I'm like, man, I can't respect you as a man.
Oh, not at all.
That is part of the problem we have in the community. Now, not saying from what I know about the situation, other people that baby has, a good village. But it don't matter. You're not doing your part. Man, how can you have DNA that is living, breathing, and walking this earth and you don't have an influence over it? You don't have an imprint to a degree? Bro, I can't respect that.
Nope.
I can't respect that. And so if this dude's married and if his wife is pulling the strings and says, hey, that baby can't come in this house, man, what if that child now they get a good child support check, but they got to grow up in the hood?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man.
I know many times I've talked about my situation, my current situation, and that's like one of the things that bothers me the most is the lack of activity that will end up happening from the other side of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, well, you can take him to court for child support and blah, 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 blah. I said, I don't give a damn about that money.
Everybody ain't worried about
the money.
The child support. Like everybody really is not. Like, and I'm not saying that because child support is a broke but hustle. That's not what I'm saying. There are certain people that really can, like, your coins don't matter. They good when it comes to money. And children let you know every day that money is great, little luxuries are great, but your presence is always greater.
Them children don't be wanting no Jordans. They want the light up shoes. The little $10 light up shoes.
I'm telling you. By the time they want Jordan, you don't even like them no more as kids. So you paying them to kind of be quiet, So yeah, man, that procreating responsibly, it comes down to everybody, involved. And again, we saw Roe versus Wade got flipped, and I don't know how recent this video is, but men, I mean, everybody's held under it. Women can't just go get it done willy-nilly, and dudes, that's not an option. And nowadays people are, based on the numbers, procreating more responsibly. But look at who we got out here procreating. A woman with 5 kids already that she's struggling to take care of by a married man.
And child support is due from the moment you procreate.
Wait, what?
That's new law?
In the state of Georgia,
from the moment they pregnant?
From the moment you procreate, you can hit a brother with back child support.
Damn.
Wow.
So because of the heartbeat law, because the whole argument was y'all want women to have these babies, but you're not providing support. All right. You can get support while you're pregnant.
Let me speak to that real quick though. Yeah, let me speak to that real quick though, and why y'all dudes can feel how they want to feel about this. When Corey's mom was pregnant, everybody will tell you, I didn't go to nobody's prom. I wasn't splurging, spending money on nothing. I wasn't enjoying being a teenager like I could have at that point. Real talk. I mean, people were there. People saw it. And not only that, man, we was sneaking around. I was skipping school and we was catching the bus going to them clinics together. And because she didn't get herself pregnant. That's the way I saw it. Like, she didn't get herself pregnant, so she gotta miss school. Me too.
Child, most dudes out here ain't even hearing that at
all.
And
I do, but that's why these situations have become so lopsided in the favor of men, because what a lot of dudes do is, well, she having a baby and I don't want her to have a baby, but she gonna have it anyway. So I'll just show up to the hospital in 9 months and take a DNA test. Bro, she just went through 9 months solo dolo. Bro, you think she's gonna be willing to, at the 10th month when the baby's here, now I'm gonna give you a chance to be a dad. I'm gonna see what you're gonna show. Nigga, hell no.
Bruh.
She should
oh
put
my
you.
God.
She should
give
listen.
Somebody phone number, you can talk to this stupid ass.
Listen, she should put you on child support, because the moment in which you were supposed to show as a man that you were going to be there, the moment to prove it is when is that you got 9 months to show her I'm gonna be here for this baby. You got that's a 9-month trial to call her and say, "Hey, did you eat today?
Yeah.
Hey, you're hungry." And maybe you can show up, maybe you can't. I don't know what the circumstances and the logistics are, but you got a 9 months trial period. And yeah, she might still be
10 months.
10 months. Yeah, I said 10 earlier. You got a 10-month trial period. And yeah, maybe she still want to be an ass on the back end, but you shouldn't even be concerned about her being an ass on the back end of it and still doing something shady, because you as a man should want to be responsible for procreating. That's what you should want to do. But if you think in your brain that the 10th month you show up when the baby, that she's going to first allow you in the room to even see the baby being born. Let's just like, they don't got to do that. But if you think you're going to show up when the baby get here, take the DNA test, be confirmed, and then say, well, now I'm going to do what I need to do. No. You didn't show up for 9 months. I don't need you for the next 19 years. Bye-bye. See you in court.
And
like,
don't get that, man. It's like, whew. I don't talk a whole lot about my situation, but it's just that. The whole time, all I said was, just come check on me. Come and check on me. Because this is hard.
It is. Listen,
I ain't asked for a dime, no money, no nothing. Just check on me. You know, did you eat today? Are you okay? You need anything? Can I pick up something for you? Can I put a table together for you? Simple stuff that costs absolutely nothing but a moment of your time.
I want to say something to you, niggas.
And, you know, it's like, well, just because I can't be there now don't mean I'm going to ever not be there. Nigga, who said you're going to be able to have a second chance?
Hold on. Frank leaning in. He said he want to say something to these niggas.
So the thing is, I understand as a man, you don't understand what goes on in a woman's body, in her mind, because we don't ever have to experience that as men. But going through the pregnancies with my late wife, from beginning
to end
to when the baby came out, I was there every day to see to see every change that came her way that she had absolutely no control over. That baby inside of her took over. I still remember the first day she threw up. I still remember the first day of her morning sickness. And first thing my brother said, because we were all living together in those apartments in Decatur. First thing my brother said when she came out the bathroom, he said, "You pregnant, ain't you?" And he had already had his son a couple of months. Maybe I think Mikhail was like a year old. No, 2. He was 2 years old. So my brother had already gone through, you know, he had already witnessed a change, so he knew the symptoms. So I was just standing there in the hallway when she came out the bathroom. First thing he just looked at it and said, "You pregnant." So she went and got the test. She was pregnant. So I had a chance to see how her body stretched, her getting sick, her being fatigued, having to be uncomfortable.
Can't even sleep how you want.
Waking up in the middle of the night, trying to go back to sleep, pause
real quick. Man, look, let me tell y'all something. I like to sleep on my stomach. The only reason I can't sleep on my left shoulder because something wrong with it. But bro, I can turn any way, shape I want to every single goddamn. I can wake up in the middle of the night, turn to my back. I can wake up in the middle of the night and lay on my stomach. And I can wake up and turn to either shoulder. Women got 2 goddamn options the whole time they pregnant. The left side or the right side. Which one you want?
Yep.
And imagine if that woman had been sleeping on her stomach all her goddamn life.
Yep.
And ain't no back. But go ahead, Frank. Go ahead. That's just one little nugget. That's one nugget.
that it's so the very least, and that's just a smidgen of what she has to experience. So the very least you can do is check on her. If y'all don't live together, check on her like that. That's just human decency.
Yeah.
Because she's going through stuff. She's going through literal changes. And then at the very end, when she's delivering, there's a chance she can die. There's a real chance, a for real chance, that she can die. So giving birth literally is a life or death decision and position that she's in. So she's staring death in the face when she's in labor. And you don't got to do nothing. And you have the option to disappear. And if you choose that option, you're a pussy. To allow that woman to go through all of that and let her do all that by herself and then come up at the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl to cut a cord.
Put me in, coach.
Hell no.
It's like it's mind-boggling to me. Like, at the very least you can do is make sure that you can assist in making her comfortable. The very least, as a decent human being, I don't care if y'all together or not.
It don't even matter, and that's what I'm like. It don't, man. I got some extreme positions on it. I got some, man. Listen, I be like, nope. I don't believe you can date if you and that woman ain't together. You ain't even supposed to be dating. Why you ain't supposed to be dating? You ain't supposed to be getting no pussy. She can't get no dick. You can't get no pussy. Chill out. Sit down for 9 months of your funky ass life. 9 months of your funky ass life. Sit down. Sit still. Learn a hobby. If you take them 9 months, let me tell you, man, you take them 9 months, make sure she good, get you some money, and learn a goddamn instrument. 9 months. 9 months break, and my point has always been that one thing that we don't understand, men claim to be all logical, right? We like logical and nature, and we know that stuff. Instinct. What the fuck do you think the instinct is for somebody who's creating, incubating life, and the other person that was involved has not been there? The instinct by default will be self-preservation going forward.
Literally all the smoke.
You just showed me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 red flags. Your fucking red flag. You just showed me that. What do you think instinct that we all have is in the deepest parts of our DNA? Self-preservation tells that woman, leave him where he is. Don't let him in here because he wasn't here during the bacon. And so, I showed up, man. Hey, man, whatever hand you get dealt at the end of that, I have no sympathy whatsoever. I have none. If she flee the country and decides she want to go be somewhere else, I have no sympathy for that.
But these will be the same dudes that'll say, you know, my baby mama keep me from my child.
Oh yeah, they'll be
her every reason to though.
Oh, absolutely they will. Absolutely.
Like, you gave her every reason. I mean, even in my situation, I was in the hospital for 3 days. You think I got a single visit?
Yeah, see, ain't no damn way.
Not a one. I barely got a text message. But this person is all, you know, just because I don't respond don't mean I don't care. Nigga, how? How?
bro, you just gotta just pull up. Just pull up.
It's literally that simple.
Just pull up.
Well, I don't know why you always have so much smoke for me. Sir, you better be glad I ain't actually burned it down.
Man, I have the last pregnancy scare situation I was in. Listen, I knew. Listen, talk about procreating irresponsibly. This would have been that, and I knew this was somebody I didn't want to be with. But I had a very real conversation. I said, "Look. I'm gonna keep it real with you." With this woman, I said, "I don't want any more children. We had a reckless night. We weren't talking about being in a relationship, so we're not gonna." I said, so we're not going to try to be. I said, we're not going to try to be in a relationship now, all of a sudden that you're pregnant. I said, but one thing I can guarantee you with absolute certainty, if you're pregnant and you stay pregnant, I'm going to be the dad I've always been. I said, that does not change. Well, I said, listen, you can be you can have a mood and all the other stuff because I'm not celebrating like, hey, let's have a baby. I'm like, I'm not going to give you fakeness either. I said, but what I'm going to tell you is that I can put whatever I'm like, because I got to be responsible at the end of the day. And I said, and I'll do it with a smile on my face. I'm like, cause shit, it's my kid. So, I'm not going to do it begrudgingly, but I'm also going to let you know that there's no motive here. You don't use this to segue into anything.
Right.
Don't use this to try to, this, not that. Just know I'm going to, whatever the outcome is, I'm going to do my duty, period. Because at the end of the day, as a man, when you bust that nut, you relinquish your control. You gave up your power in that moment. Yep. So now life is about to come. Go ahead and you might well go ahead, stand by. You know what I'm saying? And show up. And don't be mad at the end of it when you ain't showed up and she decided to show the fuck out or just disappear. Yeah, man. But dudes are arguing. Man, I've had those arguments up and down social media. I've written paragraphs in the comment section over and over. I've created entire posts behind it. Yeah, man. Like that's one of the things that I have my bad days where the women want to just abandon ship. And then, I have a few redeeming qualities here and there, like 2 or 3. So, man, we don't play with deadbeats. We just don't.
Not at all.
Damn deadbeats.
No, I don't got no conversation for them.
That is 2 hours and 52 minutes. Sheffy, man, by next week, you better be done hatch that baby. You know what I'm saying?
They not. It's Georgia. They gonna keep me pregnant till 37 weeks, regardless.
We tired of waiting.
Who you telling? You know, I go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 7, then take a nap from 12 to 6, and I do this every day.
Aloysius, Manuel, D'Artagnan, Hill, Moore, Jenkins.
If I'm naming them after you, you help them pay these bills.
Listen, it's not about bills, it's not about money.
Like I need a crib.
It ain't about all that. It ain't about all that. Mm-mm. Listen, Aloysius. First name Aloysius, Manuel, D'Artagnan. Yeah, that sounds good right there, man.
Adonis Daniel.
Man, Chef said she grown. She said, man, I don't need all that. Like,
that's too much. Because who gonna spell all of that on some paperwork?
Man, that's a dope ass name. These motherfuckers still popping fireworks. Anyway, man.
Same over here too.
Fireworks.
I'm surprised y'all been here behind me.
Hey, did y'all see the video in Dallas where they was popping fireworks and then somebody started busting?
No.
Man, when that crowd dispersed, it was somebody laying on the ground. They were breakdancing, man. It was bad, man.
Damn.
Yeah, it was
somebody
bad,
got shot.
Yeah, man. And you heard it in the video, man. It'll I guarantee you, it'll make it across your newsfeed. I refuse to share it because it was literally a person was laid out and they were twitching on the ground. and you heard in the video the bullets whizzing in the video. You heard zoom, zoom, and then you heard it like bullets hitting cars, hitting metal. And then people, like, when people realized it was shooting, they was dispersing, and you still heard like they were shooting into a crowd. I don't know if they were trying to hit somebody specifically or what, but it was a lot of shots. And somebody was definitely hit.
Man, that sounds like some of them folk be doing.
Yeah, it was a bunch of us. It was a bunch of us.
Nah, where somebody threw a firework out of a car, a truck, and it blew up like right by some kids sitting on the porch because they threw it and they just looking at it like, what's that? What's that? And that sucker just fired up. And then somebody threw one in a truck and it blew up in the man's hand and blew the door off the side of the truck.
I seen that was a red truck.
Yes.
I seen that.
Was bananas.
Last little one. I remember my dumb ass almost blew my goddamn mouth off. I remember I took a firework, put it in my mouth, lit it, and I said, and it was stuck. I said, oh. And when I said, it blew up right here, blah, right there. I felt it, man. Now I've done some dumb stuff. I've done some dumb stuff. I was like, I said,
That has to be a plan for your life if you're still here.
I've done some dumb stuff. Anyway, man, y'all have a good night, man.
All right.
See y'all next week.